scoring chance simply because he's on his backhand and he's almost at the dot. I mean, that there's only one way that puck can go in, and that's if it's a bad goal. And unfortunately, that is a bad goal. But if the goalie's kind of standing there, the puck is going to hit him. Tommy moves his stick, he misses the puck, and it goes in. So it's not a great scoring chance. Now, if that's a left-hand shot coming down and he's able to tee it up, then you give it a scoring chance. But when you're on your backhand like that, and again, a guy like Samsonov is going to be. So Richie does a good job of, he gets beat to the inside, but then he forces him to the outside, which is where you want the guy to go. So he is on his backhand, and then it ends up in the net, and obviously it's one Tommy and all of us would love to have back.
And speaking of Rich Pilon, I guess he gets to chase Lindros all over the place tonight, huh?
Well, you know, Richie, he loves these challenges, and he comes out very big against the bigger star players of the league, and no one brings out the best in him other than Larry Lindros. So it'll be a head-to-head matchup again.
All right, it's the Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers on Alumni Night here at the Nassau Coliseum, and we'll have more right after these messages.
Winter fun is heating up. It's time to go for the snow.
This is the place. This is the place to be.
GMC Jimmy. Get into available four-wheel drive action and in control with just the push of a button, and Jimmy's deal just got better. Lease Jimmy SLS fully equipped for $299 a month. Let Jimmy help you get through this winter.
This is the place to be.
Go for the snow at your Tri-State GMC dealer. This is the place.
Get ready. McDonald's has a huge deal coming to the New York tri-state area. Starting this Friday, get a delicious quarter pounder with cheese sandwich for just half price, or a crispy chicken deluxe sandwich for just half price. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Visit the McFamily Activity Center at McDonald's today and pick up your coupons to save $3.50 on tickets to select performances of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. The greatest show on earth is coming to the New York area March 10th through April 13th.
They have substance, integrity. They are the individual pieces that contribute to a greater good, making lives less worrisome, futures more secure. They are the agents of New York life. Their humanity is the stone with which this company was built. They are why New York life is the company you keep.
It's time to go inside the game. Brian Trottier will be a part of pregame festivities. His teammates know how great he was.
What made Brian so special was just, to me, the intensity that he brought to his game, the intensity that he brought to everybody else's game, the way that Brian went out and wanted to be the best every night that he played, and he was darn near the best every night that he did play.
His ability to play every aspect of the game. He was a guy that could score. He could make plays. He could block shots. He could hit as hard as any hitter. So I would say that just the fact that he could play every area of the rink and play it well and still be a superstar.
I think the biggest driving force in him was the thrill he got out of winning, and the thrill he got out of succeeding and being successful.
I've been fortunate, 4 Stanley Cups in New York, 2 in Pittsburgh. They're exciting, happy, celebrating times. But damn, this feels good. This feels excellent.
He loved to play the game in practice. I mean, a lot of top players, they come to practice and the first guy, last guy on, first guy off. He loved to come out and be early and work on things, and he'd stay out after and play a little shinny with them. You have to kick them off the ice.
Brian used to practice really hard, and if you showed up on a Monday morning for practice and you weren't ready to play against Brian as hard as you're ready for a game, you'd come out on the losing end. And one of the things I learned about Brian was that it was important to play hard every day.
I have a passion for the game of hockey, and I hope it showed when I played. And a quick message to all the youngsters out there. If you practice with emotion and purpose, you'll play with passion and confidence.
One thing that he was self-demanding.
He demanded things of himself on the ice to become a great pro that maybe others didn't. And when you're self-demanding like that and you have the body and the will to pull it off, that's some combination. And he looked back to his dad for doing a lot of that.
My dad passed away 2.5 years ago. My coach in hockey and in life. Taught me to give your best. And don't do it to get it done. Do it to get it done right.
What made Brian Trottier a winner, I think probably the biggest thing was that he really took it upon himself to be the guy who was going to make a difference in every hockey game he played.
He made it. Brian wanted to win. There was second place wasn't good enough for him. He just wanted to be the best.
You know, he was one of those rare players in the game that had as much vision offensively as he did defensively. So he was a complete two-way player, big part of their success.
Brian was a great guy, worked hard for his teammates, and wanted to win. That's what made him special.
Intense, determined, all around because he was an all-around player and probably, I'd say, the best all-around player.
Damn, this feels good. Thank you. God bless.
Everywhere. Packages to every address in America. P.O. boxes too. We deliver packages to more places than FedEx or UPS. The U.S. Postal Service can take your business around the world. We deliver packages to everyone, everywhere, every day.
And now to the NHL, where this season we're seeing a whole lot more breakaway goals.
So through the magic of Fox Sports News VR gear, let's check in with Avalanche goaltender Patrick Roy. Okay, Patrick, take us inside hockey's most exciting play. Hey. Patrick bought the stick fake. Now he's going to pay. A little soft on the glove side. Hey. How's your 5-hole?
Stop cheating, Patrick. Adam?
Whew. Nice check.
Thanks.
Inside the cage, there's one rule. Come strong, or don't come at all.
There's no law that says as you get older, you have to slow down.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
Found it! What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
I got it! Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hi there. We continue pregame now from our Sports Desk studios here in New York. The Rangers are in a crucial stretch of games. Next up for them, the Panthers tomorrow night. A tune-up, they hope, before the home-and-home against the Devils this weekend. John Muckler's view from the bench last night must have looked very familiar to Colin Campbell. The Rangers suffer yet another one-goal loss, but nobody scoring on Dominik Hasek lately, certainly not the Rangers. He absolutely dominated again, shutting out the Rangers for a third time this year. He looked pretty relaxed, like it was no big thing, and showing why he leads the NHL with 9 shutouts. He denied Kevin Stevens on a power play chance. Buffalo and Hasek killed off all 4 penalties. Most were early. The Rangers only allowed 1 goal themselves. Miroslav Sejtano had a hat trick on Sunday, set up Alexei Zhitnik, who scored in big traffic. 1 goal was enough. Hasek stopped all 33 Rangers shots and didn't allow very many rebounds. That was another key. The Rangers stay 4 points back of Ottawa and are running out of time.
If this is the 3rd game of the year or 10th game of the year, you say, well, it was a tough loss and we'll bounce back and tomorrow's another day, but, you know, we don't have that luxury right now. We've dug a hole. We've worked exceptionally hard with what the new staff wants us to accomplish, and now is no time for anybody to throw in the towel or quit or give up.
One-time Gretzky teammate and former Ranger Luc Robitaille will miss the next 6 to 8 weeks after abdominal surgery. Robitaille has managed just 16 goals for the Kings this year. Mike Keenan gave away defenseman Grant Ledger today to the Bruins for an 8th-round pick in the 98th draft. Boston lost Bob Sweeney for the year with a broken shoulder blade on Sunday. Sergei Fedorov is making up for lost time. He scored the game winner for Detroit last night, the game in Phoenix against the Coyotes. And Scotty Bowman is glad to have him back. It's not his $28 million. I'd be glad too. Neither team scored until the second period. Slava Kozlov is stopped by Nikolai Khabibulin, but Darren McCarty put in the rebound. 1-0 Detroit. Chris Osgood kept it close with nice saves like this one that he makes on Keith Tkachuk. And then Detroit had an early third period power play, and just 53 seconds in, Stevie Yzerman feeds Fedorov. On March 2nd, he gets his first goal of the year. Detroit wins it 3-1. Up next, we'll get you back out to Long Island as the Islanders get set to face off against the Flyers. Philly pretty much spending the weekend in the metro area. First the Rangers, then the Devils, now the Islanders. Enjoy the game. I'm Deb Kauffman. We'll see you at intermission.
My feet are so sweaty and smelly. My wife calls me swamp foot.
You need Odor Eater's Foot Powder, now with Arm & Hammer Baking Soda to neutralize the sweaty acid that causes odor.
Wow, no more swamp foot.
Odor Eater's Foot Powder.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mine's 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
I was named after the sound of a gold man story. Tkachuk. Last season, goalies heard my name 52 times. Could have been more, but I spent over 200 minutes in the penalty box. That's the way I play, hard and fast. Like NHL Breakaway 98, with rumble pack checking, high-powered goal scoring, and the best graphics on ice. NHL Breakaway 98. Looks like we got a new leader of the pack. Acclaim Sports. Sweat the details.
Q104, the 10 in a row classic rock station. 10 in a row or $10,000. Q104.
You're watching Fox Sports New York.
Years ago, May 24th, 1980, overtime game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and Bobby Nystrom puts it past Pete Peters as the Islanders defeat the Philadelphia Flyers by the score of 5-4, the first of 4 consecutive Stanley Cup championships won by the Islanders. Tonight at the Nassau Coliseum, these two teams meet again, and it is a special night on Long Island. True Islander fan night as this organization celebrates its new ownership by looking back at the past. Brian Trottier, many of his former teammates on hand this evening. For the first time in a long time, Brian Trottier returns. Right now, let's check in for tonight's ceremonies as we join our announcer.
With the return of Islanders tradition for tonight's game, please welcome to the ice in the classic uniform adored by all Islander fans, number 8, Steve Webb. Islander fans, from this day on, a promise, no more silly logos. a team could win a Stanley Cup with. At this time, we draw your attention to the area in front of the Islander goals as we welcome some of our favorite Islanders in their original jerseys. Please join me in welcoming back to the Nassau Coliseum the Islanders alumni. A steady role player in two terms with the Islanders, Randy Wood. A vital member of the Chase Bank Islanders alumni team, Mike Horty. An unsung hero in the Islanders' Cinderella spring of 1993, Brian Mullins. The only true Islander, Northport's Rich Hansen. A member of the first two Islander Cup teams, John Potvin. The Islanders' little big man on defense, Jerry Hart. A peerless penalty killer of the Dynasty teams, and now the color commentator on WLIR, Wayne Merrick. He was small in stature but big on heart, Gary Howitt. A hard-nosed defenseman on all four Stanley Cup teams, Gordie Lane. Not with us on the ice tonight, but up in the Fox Sports television booth, the Islanders' first captain, Ed Westfall. An NHL All-Star in goal during the 1970s and one of the most popular players in Islander history, Glenn Chico Rapp. This speedy winger and four-time Cup winner is fifth on the Isles' all-time list for games played, Bob Bourne. His acquisition from Los Angeles was the quintessential final piece to the puzzle in the Islanders dynasty, Butch Goring. We would now like to introduce the six gentlemen whose names and numbers are immortalized in the Coliseum rafters. He coached the Islanders to 739 wins and 19 consecutive playoff series victories, Al Arbour. He fired the shot heard across Long Island that brought the first Stanley Cup to Long Island, Mr. Islander, Bob Nystrom. He was the premier power forward of his generation, number 9, Clark Gillies. He's second on the all-time list for playoff wins for a goalie with 88 and is considered the best clutch goaltender in NHL history, Hall of Famer, Battling Bill Smith. He was captain of the Islanders dynasty, arguably the best defenseman to ever play the game, number 5, Dennis Potvin. At this time, the captain of the Islanders Stanley Cup teams would like to make a special surprise presentation on this special night when we celebrate our franchise's great legacy and bright future. Dennis would like to introduce you to the new captain of the New York Islanders, number 32, Trevor Linden. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to introduce my former teammates tonight, and I'm the one who's doing it, number 22, Mike Bossy. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a special night for the Islanders with the change of ownership, but I just think it wouldn't have been a complete night if everybody wasn't here. And it's my great honor to bring back my best friend of the team, number 19, Brian Trottier.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? One more goal.
Two of the all-time great Islanders, Mike Bossy and Brian Trottier. 500 goals he scored in his Islanders career, and I guess it was appropriate that he got an assist on that one more goal. He had 853 in his career. Warmly received by the crowd. A simple but elegant ceremony here at the Nassau Coliseum. We will be back with the opening face-off right after this.
Island Hockey, Fox Sports New York, is brought to you by Discover Card. It pays to discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign. And by Rogaine, extra strength for men.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm going to beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
Needs a little work. We've never really had that big of a house before, so there's gonna be a lot going on my Discover Card. Fireplace? I love just the idea of surrounding myself with all my friends and family, and that people can just drop by. Pool table. Discover Card Cashback Bonus Award. It's like a gift that you can do whatever you want with, and not even feel guilty. Come find my house.
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Winter fun is heating up. It's time to go for the snow.
This is the place. This is the place to be.
GMC Jimmy. Get into available four-wheel drive action and in control with just the push of a button, and Jimmy's deal just got better. Lease Jimmy SLS fully equipped for $299 a month. Let Jimmy help you get through this winter.
This is the place to be.
Go for the snow at your Tri-State GMC dealer. This is the place.
Prepare for a 2-hour Star Trek event.
This is not a game.
The Killing Game. Only on UPN.
For an unprecedented second year in a row, the people who fly the most have rated Continental the best. Continental Airlines. More airline for your money.
So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
Martin Brodeur and the Devils aim to shut down Ray Bourque and the Boston Bruins. Thursday night at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York. Be glad you're just watching.
Howie Rose, original Islander captain Ed Westfall, with you along with Matt Laughlin on Fox Sports New York, the Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers. And Eddie, what's on tap for tonight, which is brought to you as always by Samuel Adams, is a surprise, a new captain.
Very much a surprise, Howie. I don't suppose it's a surprise if they announced it later on in the season or next year. But here tonight, Trevor Linden. My first thought is that it's a great pick. He's had a lot of experience. He knows how to act. He knows how to play. And I suppose if you asked him right now, he wouldn't be able to make any sense about it. He's probably choked up some, and he's probably got a million things racing through his mind right now.
Shortly after Linden was traded to the Islanders, Rick Bowness said in all probability the Islanders would not name a captain for the rest of the year. Give things a chance to evolve, with the statement as well that ultimately Linden probably would become the captain. So a little bit sooner than anyone expected. We're underway here at the Nassau Coliseum.
Isn't that Lorne Henning, number 10 in the corner?
You know, you have to think twice because we're not used to seeing today's Islanders in these jerseys. But that's Sigmund Palffy backhanding it into the corner. Palffy, Sacco, and Claude Lapointe, the Islanders forward line. J.J. Daigneault and Scott LaChance on defense. And the Flyers start to make a line change. The puck in the corner to the left side of Tommy Salo, and it comes out of the zone. Phil Samuelson, number 28, and on defense with Luke Richardson, number 22 for Philadelphia. This is LaChance for the Islanders, lifting it out to center. And Richardson chases all the way down. Icing called against the Islanders 55 seconds in. So let's set things up between the pipes, Eddie. Here's our GMC goaltending matchup.
He's 28 years old, and he's in the between the pipes for the Philadelphia Flyers. On the left, Garth Snow. The Islanders love to see him. They beat Philadelphia 6-1 here the last time he was in the net. Tommy Salo, 12th straight start for Salo. And remember, in his last 8 games, he's 4-3-1. So Tommy Salo's last 8 games have been where the team wants to get to again.
Rick Bowness certainly acknowledged when he pulled Salo on Sunday after Sergei Samsonov's 5th goal that it was a weak goal. Salo stood up to that. As Luke Richardson fires one that deflects off the side of the net, but again, Bowness saying in no uncertain terms, Salo's the goaltender. And right there, he's forced to get an elbow on a shot that sailed from the left wing, courtesy of Daig, who gets his own rebound and steers it wide. Gratton, number 55, got it to Daig. Out towards the point, picked off by Tchaikovsky. He's being held off by Richardson. And Samuelson comes back to get it. Round to the near side, chipped along by Daig, and brought ahead now by Rod Brindamore, number 17. Gratton throws it back ahead, pushed out of the Islanders zone by LaChance. Right now, the Flyers trying to get the Lindros line out there, which means that Islander coach Rick Bowness will get his defense pair of Rich Pilon and Kenny Janssen. In all probability, Berard takes a hit. Lindros behind the net with Klatt. LeClaire the left wing for the time being. As the puck comes back to Svoboda. Peter Svoboda, the Olympic hero for the Czech Republic, shoots it wide. And Shorsky for the Islanders peels it up the left wing. Over Linden couldn't reach it. And it's Svoboda back on it for Philadelphia. Linden in pursuit. The puck wound to the near side. A pinch by Janssen. And Shorsky's shot is tipped wide. Now Svoboda steers it to the far side. Rich Pilon got it to the corner and hopped over Linden's stick. And it's played by Chris Joseph, number 24 for the Flyers. Now the Flyers make a line change as they send it all the way through to Tommy Salo. 2.5 gone in the opening period.
Islanders would like to get a good start here, Howie. Lately, the Philadelphia Flyers have been falling behind. They've been able to catch up a little bit, but jump on them quickly, the word is.
Robert Reichel got knocked down along the far boards by Chris Therien. Lets the puck go to Strudwick, and Jason Strudwick's shot sails wide. Flyers lost last night in New Jersey 4-3. The Devils took a 3-0 lead. Philadelphia came back, scored twice in the third period to tie it. But if you thought Tommy Salo gave up a bad goal to Samsonov on Sunday against Boston, so did Ron Hextall against ex-Islander Steve Thomas for the New Jersey winner last night.
Boy, you'd have thought if Hextall saw it was Thomas and how quickly he reacts to things, he would have not gone out as far as he did to make that play.
Wayne Cashman did say today, however, that his plan all along was to go with Garth Snow tonight. This is Dinah Zubris in the corner. Put it in front through the slot. Nobody home for the Flyers, and Reichel pokes it ahead. 3.5 gone in the opening period. Your picture looks just a little bit cloudy or fuzzy because of some residue from the pyrotechnics after all the pregame introductions. The Islanders hope they have that hazy look in the building pretty often because they're going to have pyrotechnics whenever the Islanders score a goal now. One of the changes implemented by the new ownership.
Well, they're changing things big time here so far. I guess a few things around the office area and of course on the ice this brand new look. I still have, it's like a time warp, Holly, just to look, thinking back to when the team had, that was Stefan Pearson that just got bumped over at the Philadelphia bench.
There's Gary Howitt being dumped behind the net, or at least his latter-day clone wearing number 8, just as Howitt did Steve Webb. Webb looking for Janssens, flips one that sails around to the far side. Otto and LaChance convert. Going to be a penalty here. It's going to be against the Flyers. Islanders control the puck. Behind the net, a centering feed broken up as Webb put it in front. We get the whistle. The Islanders will have the game's first power play. 4:34 gone in the opening period. Shel Samuelson heads off as we head out.
He was in a hurry. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Avis Roving Rapid Return had him checked in under a minute. And then I heard it, a pager. And when I saw the message, I knew I had to find the owner.
Avis cars come with Avis people, and trying harder is what they do best.
Dr. Baxter! I think you left this in the car home.
I need a phone.
Yes, sir. I'll bet you somebody out there is glad we try harder.
We try harder, Avis.
There is a business class seat that tilts as a whole, raising your knees, distributing your weight evenly, and relaxing every part of your body, which makes it oh so easy to drift off. The Club World Cradle Seat, only on British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
First power play of the hockey game, it goes to the Islanders. Shel Samuelson, a holding penalty. There's the time. Before this hockey game started, you had to know there's some spirit. Look at in here, down in the middle, down in there, Brant Myers and Paul Cruz. This was when the teams were warming up prior to tonight's game. And here's the holding penalty, Samuelson on Paul Cruz. And so the Islanders, 3 of 6 against the Boston Bruins last Sunday in a losing cause. The power play back doing well again.
Oh, the Islander power play doing very well. 9 for 22 over the last 6 games. But it's Chris Therien, number 6, controlling the puck, working it ahead. A pinch by Janssen pressures Otto, but now the Islanders need to retreat. So we'll set up the New York power play. Brian Berard out handling the puck. Berard and Janssen have the points. Reichel, Palffy, and Linden up front. This is Linden, number 32. poking it between Svoboda's legs. Snow winds it around. Janssen in deep, put it off his skate, but the Flyers get it back, and it's Colin Forbes making the clear. Islanders had the best power play in the National Hockey League during the abbreviated play during the month of February.
Well, they're ranked 6th in the league right now, Howie. They're moving back up into those positions that they had at the beginning of the season. They're 3rd best at home.
Berard off to Chorsky now along the boards. Chorsky into the far corner to Nemchinov. Sergei Nemchinov looks for a play. Almost gave it away. Now tries to keep it in and can't do it. And Daigneault has to come back to the Islander blue line. Daigneault, Smolinski, Chorsky, Nemchinov. Now Berard goes off. And Lachance replaces him. Big hit in the corner. Otto chopping at Daigneault. Got the stick out of Daigneault's hands. And the puck eventually out of the zone. 29 to go to the power play. Here's Nemchinov. Up to the Flyer line. Left it for Smolinski. Now a chance, wrist shot, save, rebound, score! Nemchinov!
The word was to get to the Philadelphia Flyers early, and the Islanders power play, it's done that. 1-0. Sergei Nemchinov fights off a check. Peter Svoboda, I believe, a defenseman, didn't get to him in time. There's the pass to the point. There's the shot. Watch in front there. That's Svoboda, number 23. He allowed Nemchinov to get to the rebound. Good, low, hard shot. Garth Snow leaves a rebound. Nemchinov pounds it in.
That's a sight that Sergei Nemchinov had not seen, or Islander fans either for that matter. In 1998, he'd gone 19 games without a goal since scoring on New Year's Eve in Denver. 6 games without a point, but Nemchinov connects on the power play. 1-0, Islanders. Berard chases the dump in. Being watched by Rod Rindamore. And the puck brought ahead now by Cherkovsky, trying to get past Gratton, who holds him up. Cherkovsky regains the puck, though. Wheels it in front, but it hopped over Mark Jansen's stick. Pinballs to Gratton. Now the Flyers come to center. Rindamore to Daig. Alexander Daig has great wheels. Pulls up, leaves it for Gratton. Back for Joseph. That shot tipped and a save by Salo. A chance behind the Islander net. By Rindamore, back in front. Salo a save, and the Islanders get it back. Gratton in front, got a piece of it, but Salo got the rest of it. And boy, after the game against Boston, that's exactly what Tommy Salo needs. A big save early.
And to get the fans back behind him, Howie.
Islanders have the early lead.
Let's see what's on tap for the weekend as we take you on.
I don't care who you are, you got to be impressed with Sharon Resulton.
Yeah?
She is the whole package. Poise in front of the blue screen, keen analytical skills, complete grasp of the Beaufort scale. Oh, sweet move. You can't teach that sort of thing. I remember when she first came out of college, I said, now she's going to be big someday.
You didn't say that.
I did. I said that.
Huh.
I did. I swear.
There is no book that tells you how to feel completely alive. However, there is the Katera Owner's Manual.
See your authorized Cadillac Katera dealer today.
Katera, the caddy that zigs.
Sergei Nemchinov displays fundamentals of hockey very well. Watch what he does here on the chase cam replay. He takes a hit. He's still on his feet. That was Svoboda. He goes to the net. That's where the puck ends up. He pounds it in. Good play by Sergei Nemchinov.
Tommy Salo called on to make a save from the point. 7-12 on here in the first period.
So many times, Howie, a player will get hit, as Nemchinov did there. Svoboda stood him up, but he didn't knock him down. That shows you Nemchinov is so good on his skates. His balance, his feet are far apart, hard to knock over, and because of that, he was able to track to the net. He knew the play was going to end up there sooner or later, and he was hoping it was going to be sooner. And it happened in front of him, which is just about what you love to have.
From the draw, Pilon drives it out of the zone. When you see Pilon, you know Lindros is out there. Lindros, Klatt, and LeClaire, the forward line. Joseph and Svoboda, the Philadelphia defense. Islander forwards are Smolinski, Linden, and Chorsky, but here's LeClaire shooting one off of Pilon. Round to the near boards, Tom Chorsky spins it ahead. Linden moves it for Smolinski, and that wrist shot right on to Garth Snow. Back in center, it's Strudwick. Jason Strudwick just twists it deep into the Philadelphia zone as Joseph comes up with a puck. Linden missed a hit, went in hard behind the Philadelphia net. Appears to be all right, though he is skating over to the Islander bench. Now Webb, number 8 for New York, to Daigneault. A.J. Daigneault couldn't skip around Dinas Zubris. And Strudwick has it back for the Islanders. Paul Cruz got hemmed in by Samuelson. 8:15 gone in the opening period, 1-0 New York. A.J. Daigneault playing in his 3rd game with the Islanders. Having trouble in the corner, lost it to Zubris, but a centering feed picked off by Webb. Webb, Cruz, and LaPointe for the Islanders. Pass goes off LaPointe's skate, being chased and finally hit by Richardson. Cruz and Samuelson came together, and Webb got right into the middle of it. And LaPointe takes a piece of Colin Forbes. Newly acquired Mike Sillinger, number 11 for the Flyers. Sends it to the corner. Zubris knocked down by Berard. Sillinger gets it back, tried to swing it in front. Now Sillinger has it again. Forbes for Sillinger. Away by LaChance. Sillinger again. Mike Sillinger giving the Flyers some 3rd line depth.
He has taken Joel Otto's place pretty well, Howie. Otto has been relegated to very little ice time. They needed more speed in that 3rd line center position, and Sillinger gives it to them.
Flyers attack once again. Behind the net, Therrien throws it in front. All the way to the point. Breton sails it wide. Now in the corner, LaChance for the Islanders, tied up with Brind'Amour. But it's Reichel springing Palffy to center. Here comes Ziggy over the Flyer line. Out of Berard, moves up, centers, but it goes wide. And around to the near side. Islanders trapped. Janssen the only man back. It's a 3-on-1. Brind'Amour, Svoboda, but he missed the net. Peter Svoboda put it upstairs, and maybe Salo got an elbow on it. Now Nemchinov for New York. Comes to center. Islanders changing. Nemchinov smartly turns back to allow for the change.
Got to know that over in the Islanders bench right now, there must be some conversation going on with Berard. Don't lead the rush. Be the late man following the rush, if you wish.
LeClaire hits Lindros with a pass in the corner. Janssen tees him up. Pilon watching as well. Lindros put it in front. But it's intercepted by Sacco for the Islanders. Joe Sacco to Janssen. Back for Sacco, but it hit a leg on the way through. It didn't get there. So Lindros goes rink wide. On the left side, Klatt. LeClaire gives it up to Janssen. Good pace to this game.
Good pace. We saw 2 hockey games yesterday. These Philadelphia Flyers and the New Jersey Devils. Look out here.
Strudwick missed it. Lindros has it. Salo robs him. Jason Strudwick bailed out by his goaltender.
Wow, what a stop by Tommy Salo. Big mistake again by the Islanders. Fans are in behind Tommy Salo. That's 2 outstanding saves he's had in this game so far.
And the crowd, which voiced its displeasure at Salo on Sunday, and even at the announcement of his inclusion in the starting lineup tonight, now chanting his name in tribute after the big save on Eric Lindros. Chorsky sends Linden in. Trevor Linden driving to the slot, hemmed in, dumped by Therrien. Play continues. Smolinski a shot and a save by Snow. Smolinski again, back for Daigneault. Trying to return it deep, but Sillinger picks it off. Missed Forbes with a pass, and that gives Strudwick time to get back on it. Strudwick under pressure again, gives it up. Forbes put it in front, missed by Zubris. Joseph a drive and a save. Joseph has now to Svoboda. He cocks and fires. That goes wide. Big carom and Salo grabs it. 8:20 remaining in the first period. Tommy Salo, the big story so far. The Islanders still with a 1-goal lead. But this is why they're still in front.
Toshiba notebooks with the Intel Pentium processor can make any presentation come alive with brilliant color and stereo sound, even when you're out in the field. By harnessing the awesome power of the Intel Pentium processor, Toshiba portables can keep up with your thoughts. They can even keep up with your dreams. Toshiba portables, a more personal computer.
With classic checking from Home Federal, there's never a fee for your first set of checks, for writing a check, or for letting your balance drop to just $100. Beat that, big banks. At Home Federal, you don't have to go far to get far.
Friday on Fox Sports New York, Williams, Van Horn, and Cassell lead the Nets against Stockton, Malone, and Hornacek. The Nets are tested by the tough Utah Jazz. Friday night at 7:30 exclusively on Fox Sports New York.
Well, moments ago, the Islanders get a rush, an on-man rush. Look at all the white sweaters. The thing to watch for here is when the turnover right here happens. The four Islanders are still now trailing the play where they were leading it. And a scoring opportunity right there off the handle of Tommy Salo's stick. 3 times. I forgot that one. I think that went off the handle of his stick, Howie. So between Groton and Lindros just after that. So Tommy Salo settling things down for the Islanders.
Now behind the net, it's Joel Otto, number 29. Now there's going to be a penalty, and apparently it's going to be to the Flyers.
Ike Post. Somebody got hit in the throat. I think LaPointe got a hit in the throat by one of the Flyers' sticks. Yep, going to be a high sticking penalty, possibly. Yeah, a slashing, I guess now is the signal. Claude LaPointe heads off to the bench and over to the penalty box. Sean Podine. So the Islanders, who have scored on their only power play in this hockey game, the only goal of the hockey game, get their second attempt.
Philadelphia penalty to number 25, Sean Podine.
Does that make them 4 for 7 now, I think, in their last 7 chances? They've got 4 power play goals. Here's the scrum going. Oh, look at that. Podine just reached back. He did that deliberately. Should get a penalty. Wayne Cashman says, well, gosh, I'm going to have to talk to that Podine. He's going to have to learn if he's going to do that. He's got to do it when the referee isn't looking.
Wayne Cashman saw his team fall behind 2-0 in the first minute and a half last night in New Jersey. But they carried the play more and more throughout the rest of the game, tying it and giving up the game-winning goal to Steve Thomas in the third period. Right here, the Islanders putting their very successful power play back to work. And he mentioned 4 for their last 7, including the 3-goal output Sunday. Reichel a drive, but he missed the net. And now Janssen unable to keep it in. So the Islanders, with a man advantage, have Berard and Janssen on the points. Reichel, Linden, Palffy up front. Forbes and Otto the forwards, with Terrien and Desjardins back for Philadelphia. Linden along the wall. Palffy and Reichel in close quarters. So Terrien exploited that, curling it to the other side. Otto and Palffy together. And it's cleared all the way down by Forbes, and the Flyers will change up, as will the Islanders.
Tommy Salo, good move, moved up quickly, Howie, to get that puck to his forward so they could keep pressure on in the offensive zone.
Linden along the wall. Smolinski has replaced Reichel. Linden shooting, and he missed on the glove side. Comes around to Berard. Now he twists it back to Smolinski in the corner. Janssen for Linden. Smolinski with 45 to the power play. Smolinski, quick shot, save, Snow, rebound, Palffy is loose, and Snow covers up.
Let's take a look at our Sprint PCS league leaders. The category, well, Zygmunt Palffy. Well, he doesn't lead the league in goals, but he does lead in goals in another category. Power play goals, there he is on top of the heap with 14. Corson, Stu Barnes, how about that with Pittsburgh? I was in Florida as a defensive player with 13, and Leclerc playing here against the Islanders has 11.
I'd figure.
Islanders come close again. This was the move by Tommy Salo to get the puck down low quickly from his end to the offensive end, and there's the Islanders. Zygmunt Palffy getting a lot of attention, as you would expect them to, standing around looking for a loose puck.
I'd also expect, as you look at the recent hot streak of Ziggy, get to that in a moment, as Smolinski looks for the point. He's got Daigneault. J.J. Daigneault's wrist shot sails wide, but now there's going to be a penalty to the Islanders. Shorsky interfering in front. So the parade to the penalty box continues, although this is the first penalty against the Islanders.
Getting in front of the net, trying to find some room. I guess he got too close. to the defenseman for Philadelphia, Desjardins, number 3 there. He bumped into the goaltender. That's what it was. And then he gets hooked up with Desjardins, but the penalty was being called, I believe, for interference on Garth Snow, the goaltender. He bumped him as he came out from the side of the net.
So the end result is we'll see some 4-on-4 play here for about a half minute or so. And then the Islanders will have to kill the first Philadelphia power play of the night. I was talking to Brian Burke, National Hockey League Vice President, for the game tonight. And he's mentioned, as you would expect that he would, I suppose, that he's very pleased with the results so far, the implementation of all the obstruction calls and how he thinks it's opened the flow up. There's Zubris driving to the net. Salo slides out and gets the puck back to his defense, or at least to Smolinski.
If you had an opportunity to go between channels last night, between the game Philadelphia played with New Jersey and the game the Rangers were playing with Buffalo, it was very evident. Like playoff hockey, end-to-end rushes time and again. Seen a few in this game already.
Also mentioned that the winning goal in the Edmonton game, the Flyers now starting a power play, Edmonton beating Colorado in overtime 5-4, was also the result of a little more open ice, allowing Fraser to score a second of the game for the Oilers. Right here, Philadelphia, a man up for a minute 12. Svoboda to Joseph. Now Brindamore. Islanders pressure Brindamore, who then peels back, shoots, pad save, rebound Leclerc, sits on the doorstep, another rebound Lindros, and Salo's got that. And Salo took exception to Lindros poking away and lets him know forcefully.
Way to go, Tommy Salo. Hey, David Goliath. He gives him a little lip saying, what's the matter with you, you big galoot? You get one chance, maybe two, but you can't take 3. Let's take a look. Watch Lindros in front of the net now as he moves over. There's the first shot. Now, here he comes. There he is now. 1 poke, 2 backhand shot, slap, slap again. Trying to loosen the puck up, and Tommy Salo says, don't do that. Take that. Now, where's Rich Pilon? Get in here.
Well, remember, Pilon was thrown out of a game in Philadelphia earlier this season for a hit on Lindros.
Or was that John Leclerc?
I'm sorry, yeah, on John Leclerc, which meant that he couldn't chase Lindros around. As Kenny Janssen, did he gather that puck in? The Flyers think so, but looks like Paul Dvorsky's going to let him slide with it.
Yeah, he seems to be down there a little too long if he's just covering a puck. I think he could have taken a whack or a stab. He's looking at his face now. Rich Campbell. He knew right away. He was off the bench and on the move. What looked like a routine drop down on the puck. Philadelphia were asking for a penalty for delaying the game. He's saying, wait a minute, I may have lost half my jaw. From the face-off, ooh, was the puck? Yeah, the puck went up from the face-off. Well, you'd have to say the Islanders won the face-off. That was Claude Lapointe.
Kenny will be all right. Safe to predict.
Ooh, yeah, you can see where it caught him on the chin.
So Lindros, who does have his tormentor, Pilon, working against him tonight, wins a draw. And it's Brindamore setting up Lindros. Couldn't get it through the check of Sacco. Pilon lost it. Brindamore trying to set up Lindros, but it flutters to Tommy. 40 left to the.
As a penalty killer, you'll take any chance he gets to grab a puck. He's not a great puck handler. He'll tell you that. He admits to it. Has on it. Probably a lot better when he first arrived here. But, the coaches will argue if there's at the line, hang on.
The draw to the right side of Salo. Linden out to kill the penalty with Sacco. Pilon and LaChance back, but the Flyers control the draw. Joseph to Lindros. Lindros a drive, blocked by Pilon. Pilon bothered by Leclerc, who forced the turnover. And so Lindros has it back. Now to Joseph. Wrist shot, knocked down by a Mays in front. Still loose. And Desjardins takes it to the corner. Eric Desjardins took a hit, but Brindamore got it to Joseph for a drive that missed the net. Lindros back towards the blue line to Joseph. And Lindros with 13 to the power play. Sets up Desjardins for a drive and a save by Tommy Salo.
Beautiful stop by Salo. Do you see how quickly he got to the rebound? He wasn't going to let Lindros or anybody else. Leclerc, Brindamore, Nobody was going to get after that rebound. I don't think it hit the ice. What a hard drive. Hit him just under the chin, high on the chest. And the Islanders lose the face-off, and things start to break down. Here's the shot from the point. Wham! Good concentration. Look at the Islanders sweaters. Now watch just the white sweaters. Here's the shot. Boom. Save. Get me grab the puck. And from this view, you don't see all of the white jerseys, but the Islanders, there's 2 of them. And maybe from this one, you can see how quickly the penalty killers have to pull back to make sure everybody's covered. And that's exactly what they do. Salo covers the puck.
Peter Svoboda of the Flyers just went to the Philadelphia dressing room. Here's Terry and blasting one off of Salo. That was knocked down in front, closing seconds of the Philadelphia power play, and the Islanders clear. Flyers put a lot of rubber in Tommy Salo's direction. Remember, it was not a full 2-minute power play, but they still got 5 shots through to the Islander net. 26 remaining in the opening period. Laid offside in effect. Now it'll be called as the puck comes to Klett off of Reichel. Islanders still hanging on to a 1-0 lead late in the first.
I was named after the sound of a goal being scored. Kachuk. Last season, goalies heard my name 52 times. Could have been more, but I spent over 200 minutes in the penalty box. That's the way I play, hard and fast. Like NHL Breakaway 98, with rumble pack checking, high-powered goal scoring, and the best graphics on ice. NHL Breakaway 98. Looks like we got a new leader of the pack. Acclaim Sports. Sweat the details.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mine's 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
Well, the scoreboard favors the Islanders, but the shots on goal clearly favoring Philadelphia. And while Rick Bowness's confidence in Tommy Salo has been rewarded, Salo's been on top of his game. After each flurry, Bowness just stands behind the bench and shakes his head as if to say, we can't keep this up. We're giving the Flyers way too many chances. We'll have to tighten up, certainly in the second period, fellas.
Islanders have been outshot, Matty, 13-6 with 4:17 now remaining here in the first period. Shell Samuelson chasing the bouncing puck, and Garth Snow decided to take charge.
Yeah, that's a communication breakdown, Howie. They should communicate better than that.
All right, let's see what's coming up at the end of the first period in our New York Marriott Marquis Intermission Report. It is Broadway's biggest hit. And we'll have a conversation, at least Matty will, with Ryan Trottier. Great to see him back on the island. Also, we'll hear from new Islander captain Trevor Linden. Deb Kauffman's at the sports desk. Eddie and I will have first period highlights, so make sure to stick around.
Yeah, that's an area where Samuelson doesn't play a lot. 39-year-old defenseman. He's in and out of the lineup. Garth Snow doesn't play nearly as much as Hextall. But still, you'd think that they'd be able to call to each other and the signs and signals. Even if they don't voice communicate, there should be enough signs and signals between Garth Snow and Shell Samuelson that they wouldn't have a guessing game going on.
4:09 to go in the period. Remember, before the game, Rick Bowness was telling us that he was going to hedge on his scratch before the game. He's only got one extra player depending upon whom the Flyers dressed. And I guess it was about whether or not Steve Webb would get in. Mike Huff was the scratch. Kowski was going to play either way because Brant Myers and Dan Kordick, neither of whom played last night in the game in New Jersey, are dressed tonight either. And so in that respect, Rick figured it wouldn't be quite as physical a game as the Islanders and Flyers have played a couple of times this year. Most notably the last time in this building. And Paul Coffey, who's also been scratched more than just a few times this year by the Flyers. Scratched once again tonight, although he did play last night in New Jersey. Coffey now 37 years old. And Cashman not playing in much back-to-back any longer.
Howie, just moments ago, he saw Lindros trying to flatten Kenny Johnson with a hit. Johnson saw him at the last minute. Look out here.
A steal by Reichel. He turns, centers, Coffey scores!
Beautiful steal. The Islanders force a turnover in the offensive zone. And Zygmunt Palffy continues to put points on the board. Take a look. Somebody was changing right here on his way to the bench. Nobody gets out. And Reichel steals the puck. Philadelphia a man short. Reichel, a beautiful play to Palffy. Slides it into the lower part of the net. The Islanders have a 2-0 lead. What a smart move here. You can see a little pass, almost as if Reichel wasn't sure Palffy was there, and then he was.
So Ziggy's point streak continues to grow. He's had points in 7 straight games. 10 goals now in his last 9 games, but a chance for the Flyers. However, Haig's centering feed did not reach Brindamore, and Palffy's got it back. Reichel the only assist on the 33rd of the year for Ziggy. And here comes Reichel again. Holds up, gets away from most of that Terrien hit. So in the NHL goal scoring list, led by Solani with 41. Leclerc has 38. Bondra, Kachuk, Pavel Bure have 36, and then Palffy with 33. Loose puck in the slot, but LeChance is the one who sneaks away with it. Scott LeChance to center. And he lifts it to the right side of Snow. Samuelson back to get it with Jansen spying him. 2:18 to go in the period. The Islanders outshot 13-7. Yet they're leading 2-0, and the fans would like to see a former Islander get between the pipes for the Flyers. We want Hextall was the chant. There continue to be rumors about Bobby Clark having interest in some other goaltender to carry him through the Stanley Cup playoffs. And people feel that Ron Hextall would not be capable of winning a Stanley Cup. The point put one on goal that Garth Snow stopped. Curtis Joseph is a potential free agent at the end of the year in Edmonton. Oilers lost Luke Richardson as a free agent to the Flyers last summer. Glenn Sather has vowed not to let something like that happen again. Meaning if he feels he's not going to sign Cujo, chances are he'll trade him before the deadline later this month. Will he go to the Flyers? One of the possibilities. Bob Bourne, number 14, replaced some years later by Tom Chorsky for the Islanders as the Flyers move it back in. I guess you have to go way back to look at number 7 and say, hey, that's Dave Fortier.
Wow, very good, Howie. Well, the Islanders have skated one of their better first periods here, a spirited first period. Some great scoring chances for Philadelphia. Lindros with one of them, and there a good pass to Leclerc.
Leclerc got knocked down behind the net by Pilon, and a penalty coming up. Remember, Pilon and Leclerc were the combatants, with Leclerc the recipient of the Pilon hit in Philadelphia late in January. This one is just going to cost Pilon 2 minutes, I would think.
Boy, Leclerc again off balance. That's where he hit him. He hit him a lot harder the last time, but John Leclerc trying to grab a loose puck. He took a pass. Pilon still, you know, he doesn't show that he's upset, but watch here as he pushes him there. Just because he's so strong, he jolts him off his feet. And referees see big players like Leclerc get moved that easily. They think, well, he hit him hard, but it's just Rich Pilon being that strong that he moved him that easily, and he gets a 2-minute boarding penalty for it. So Philadelphia, Tom Chorsky had a penalty earlier, and the Islanders killed that off. This is the game in Philly that Rich Pilon, right there, bang, no question. He got what he deserved there. The 2-minute one, yeah, it's, I suppose, on one side, yes, on another, no.
It is a Flyer power play. Brindamore centering feed, and Salo stops Joseph, who jumped in. And LaPointe clears. Half-minute remaining in the period, so the power play will carry over to the second, unless the Flyers cash in here.
Oh, another good save, Howie, by Tommy Salo right at the end of the period. That would have taken a little of the luster off the Islanders' 2-0 lead right now.
Brindamore feeds Joseph. Wrist shot blocked nicely by LaPointe. He timed it perfectly. Final 10 seconds of the period. Leclerc was poked at and then returned fire on J.J. Daigneault. Desjardins tries to throw it at the net. Time running out. The Flyers will not get anything off of Tommy Salo in the first period. kind of a statement period, if you will, for Salo after his performance on Sunday.
Oh, well said. A statement, yes. The fans are on their feet over at that point where the Islanders go on and off the ice. A lot of it signaling their pleasure on the stoppages by Salo, the goals by Nemchinov and Zygmunt Palffy.
They are the entries in our New York Marriott Marquis first period scoring summary, with the Islanders taking a 2-0 lead here on home ice. It's been a homer series to begin with. The Flyers winning all 3 games at the Core State Center. Islanders 6-1 winners in here last time. And Nemchinov followed by Palffy, giving the Islanders their 2-0 lead, despite the fact they were outshot 14-8. And will still have to defend against the Philadelphia power play for the first minute and change of the second period, minute 17 to be exact. So 2-0 Islanders at the end of one. Let's go downstairs. Matt Laughlin standing by with his special guest.
Well, Howie, in pregame ceremonies tonight, Trevor Linden was announced as the 7th captain in Islanders history. And Trevor, when were you informed, and was it a bit of a surprise?
Yeah, it was a big surprise. About an hour before we went on the ice, so it was a big surprise. Obviously a big honor when you look at the list of guys I'm following, so there's a great tradition here, and I'm proud to be part of it.
You of course wore the C when you were in Vancouver, but how quickly can you establish your presence as a captain after coming to this team recently?
Well, I think that's certainly something that I have to be careful at. You have to take it slow and learn. First of all, get to know the guys, and that's important. So far it's been great. Obviously had some practice time and some games here, so getting to know one another now.
From your perspective, what is the most important thing a captain has to do?
Well, I think just be supportive and just be part of the group, and obviously understanding, and obviously there's times where you have to say some things that maybe you don't want to say, but that's part of it.
All right, Trevor, congratulations on the honor. Trevor Linden, the 7th captain in Islanders history, given the C, as he told us shortly before the start of tonight's game, and he received the jersey in pregame ceremonies. Brian Trottier up next.
Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York is brought to you in part by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration, my Volkswagen Jetta. Excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta is a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams, because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Damage, the first digital camera with a move and zoom lens. A 3-foot cable shoots over the crowd's head, behind your back. Shoot up a storm, then download only the best into your PC. Yes, Damage V, the digital camera with a fast break detachable lens, only from the mind of Minolta.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm gonna beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
When it comes to choosing the right motor oil, let's make something perfectly clear. Introducing 3 new oils from Quaker State, specially formulated for the vehicle you drive. Synthetic blends for hard-working engines and high-horsepower engines. A full synthetic for ultimate engine protection. Extra filtered with patented micro-Q filtration to ensure your oil starts clean for a difference you can see and trust. So when it comes to protecting your vehicle, why take a chance? Quaker State. The choice is clear.
Scotland the Brave, with the regimental band of the Scots Guard and the pipes and drums and Highland dancers of the Black Watch. You don't have to be Scottish to feel the spirit of the Highlands in the deepest part of yourself. So reserve your tickets now for our celebration and bring your kith and kin to our wee musical party.
At the Nassau Coliseum, Friday, March 6th. Tickets available at the box office, Ticketmaster, or charged by phone.
This is the New York Marriott Marquis Intermission Report. Broadway's biggest hit, the Islanders leading 2-0 after 1. Before the game, it was a meeting of the Islander Alumni Association, and the last player announced was Brian Trottier. And Brian, long time since you've been back here. The fans responded well. How'd it feel? Good?
Oh, I felt fantastic. I've always had a great relationship with the fans of Long Island. I really enjoy, I guess, interacting with them and the response that they always give whenever I'm around. It's great. It was a warm reception. I think the fans were very enthusiastic. I thought the energy of the crowd and carried right on to the players, and they took a right 2-0 lead here. I hope it continues for them.
Did you ever think this day would come, when you would come back?
Well, I've been busy. Holy cow! I've had this thing called a job with the Penguins for a few years, and it interfered with coming back to Long Island quite often. Now I'm up in Portland, head coaching up there, and really enjoying it. And it was an opportunity, and it worked well with the schedule. So here I am, back in town.
The one number that is missing, hanging from the rafters, of course, is your number 19. Has there been any discussion? Can you give us a little hint as to when a retirement ceremony might take place?
I don't know when it's going to happen, but obviously there's been a lot of discussion, even in the past, about it. But dates have been a problem with myself or with the Islanders here, and timing. Obviously this didn't work out. It wasn't the right time, and hopefully in the future it'll happen here real soon.
So no concrete date has been set for later this season or early next year?
None yet, no, but I think for myself, I've had no problem with it in the past nor in the future, but if it works well for everybody, and obviously for the fans too, I think it should be a great celebration for everybody.
During our pregame, we pulled some comments from your speech at the Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. As you look back at standing there at the podium and being inducted into the hall, what goes through your mind?
Oh, great memories of your mom and dad, looking at you as a little kid, skating around the ice, your first pair of skates or a brand new pair of gloves or a new stick and you're taping it up. The fresh smell of the locker room, when it's not all sweaty. I mean, there's a lot of things that go through your mind, but sipping the champagne out of the Stanley Cup, looking in your teammates' eyes, sharing that moment with fans of Long Island and hearing the roar of the crowd. I mean, all those things just come running through you, and it's very emotional, but also it's like a mini rush, and you kind of got to try to hold yourself together, trying to get all your thank yous in there, but it was a great, great moment.
Of course, a capper to a great career. What was the greatest moment playing for the Islanders?
I had nothing to do with the play, but when Bobby scored that overtime goal that made him a champion for the first time, I can't thank Bobby enough, and John Tonelli, and that was a great play. But personally, when you sneak 500 goals in, that was really special. The fans, the response there, from the standpoint of helping Mike get 50 and 50, that was really special. I mean, we went after that. I mean, him and I, we were like, we can do this, and it was really a nice feat for him. So I was happy for that. There were a lot of great moments.
Well, Brian Trottier, one of the greatest Islanders of all time, perhaps the greatest of all time, and it was good to see him back. And before the game, he and Mike Bossy hooked up once again. Mike Bossy scoring as they combined so often during their illustrious career. Big smiles all around. A big night here at the Nassau Coliseum, and the Islanders leading 2-0 after 1.
Everywhere. Packages to every address in America. P.O. boxes too. We deliver packages to more places than FedEx or UPS. The U.S. Postal Service can take your business around the world. We deliver packages to everyone, everywhere, every day.
Big Game Jays and the Iceman.
I've been in that situation.
Expert analysis only the pros know.
That's not smart basketball.
Weeknights, Craig Simpson and James Worthy take you inside.
Okay, let's go to the Fox scope.
And tell it like it is.
You can't play like that if you want to win.
Worthy, Simpson, these guys pull no punches.
Now, what was he thinking?
Fox Sports News Primetime. Weeknights at 10 on Fox Sports New York.
Get ready. McDonald's has a huge deal coming to the New York tri-state area. Starting this Friday, get a delicious quarter pounder with cheese sandwich for just half price. Or a crispy chicken deluxe sandwich for just half price. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Visit the McFamily Activity Center at McDonald's today and pick up your coupons to save $3.50 on tickets to select performances of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. The greatest show on earth is coming to the New York area March 10th through April 13th.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
Found it!
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
I got it! Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Promotional consideration is provided by Durasteel by Armatron. Solid stainless steel cases, solid steel bracelets, superb quality and outstanding value. The toughest and best looking watches. Armatron Durasteel, a state of mind and body.
Deb Kauffman back at the sports desk. Ron Wilson's not having a good year after Team USA's debacle in Nagano. He's back at his day job coaching the Washington Capitals, and they're working on a 6-game winless streak. They're down 1-0 already to the Bruins tonight, playing in the second period. The Caps fourth in the conference. Pat Burns and the Bruins are 6th. Some good saves tonight from both Rob Tallis and Ole Kolzig. Adam Oates' shot is stopped by Bruins goalie Rob Tallis, and Peter Bonder's rebound is also stopped by Tallis. Jason Allison puts Boston on the board. He's having a breakout year. The game's first goal, number 23 for Allison again. They're leading at 1-0. Huge game here at the Garden tonight between the Knicks and Nets. And New York is leading New Jersey 46-36, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Potentially a big problem for New Jersey. Jason Williams trying to grab the rebound, ends up grabbing his hip. Tried twice to come back in, but he's gone back out. So the Nets are playing without his presence inside. For the Knicks, it's Larry Johnson putting the Knicks up 7. Working on Keith Van Horn. LJ makes it 29-22 New York. The Nets staff working on Jason Williams. So far, he has not been able to come back. Even though he failed 8 sobriety tests, Mo Vaughn was acquitted today of drunk driving charges by a jury in Massachusetts. Back to the hockey. The Islanders and Flyers continue in the second period right after this.
You may face some stiff penalties with a checking account at a big New York bank if your balance falls below the huge minimum, for using an ATM, for writing a check. So you may want to open a classic checking account at Home Federal. Balance is down to $100? No penalty. Want to use our ATMs or write a check? No penalty. Hey, it's only fair. At Home Federal, you don't have to go far to get far.
I thought you were starting to go gray.
I was, but I never did.
So what happened? A miracle?
You can't tell?
Tell what?
I use Just for Men.
That's hair color?
Even your barber can't tell you use the hair coloring called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique Just for Men formula blends away the gray, actually matches your gray to your real color.
I never would have guessed.
Just for Men. So natural, even your barber can't tell.
There is a business class seat that tilts as a whole, raising your knees, distributing your weight evenly, and relaxing every part of your body, which makes it oh so easy to drift off. The Club World Cradle Seat, only on British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Showtime, baby. A gold medal coming up for the Czech Republic. It is now done.
Welcome back to NHL hockey, the coolest game on earth.
Have you seen a better performance? Skate! Joe Sakic! A magnificent goal! What a play! Yes! What a show!
2-0 Islanders at the end of one. Nemchinov on the power play. Palffy at even strength, but the story, Tommy Salo, will show you why right after these messages.
At Chase, your company is in good company, like PhotoFile, a member of Tom Seaver's Business Hall of Fame. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
Everywhere. Packages to every address in America. P.O. boxes too. We deliver packages to more places than FedEx or UPS. The U.S. Postal Service can take your business around the world. We deliver packages to everyone, everywhere, every day.
For most repairs, car mechanics rely on these manuals. But for fixing transmissions, they rely on this to find Lee Miles.
The most trusted name in transmissions. Get me to Lee Miles.
Hello.
Hello. I just enrolled my company in this healthcare plan, and I need some information on a small procedure.
Oh, fine. Just wait a moment and we can call Debbie at Central.
Debbie? Who's Debbie? My doctor's not Debbie.
You'll love Debbie. Debbie's at your healthcare company. She's in charge of your health.
Is she a doctor?
No, but she's really nice. She was a cheerleader. And as long as Debbie's been at your healthcare company, no one here has ever missed a birthday card.
I want my doctor.
Well, we could just ask Debbie.
Is your business healthcare plan all that it should be? Or is Debbie making important decisions about your healthcare? With HIP coverage, doctors make healthcare decisions, not administrators. Call your broker or call HIP at this number for information about our affordable small business plans, including plans in New York that let you choose any doctor, anywhere. Call and get a 10-minute prepaid long-distance calling card and our free brochure on small business plans. This offer expires soon, so call now.
Debbie wants you to leave now.
So where do you get your health care?
It's HIP.
Get set for a new breed stampede. Leanne Rhymes and Brian White.
So much for pretending.
March 11th at Nassau Coliseum, giving New York something to talk about. The only New York area appearance. Be there when the magic happens. Reserved seats on sale Saturday morning at 10. Leanne Rhymes and Brian White. A Beaver production in support of DARE.
Our New York Marriott Marquis first period highlights can be renamed the Tommy Sallo Show.
Well, I guess so. You need a goaltender to keep you in the game so you can get points out of it. That's exactly what Tommy Sallo did 5 times anyway in the first period. He just grabbed a puck here now at the start of the second. Do we have a penalty?
Yeah.
I believe we do.
6 seconds into the period. Remember the Flyers on the power play for the first minute 17. And Leclerc driving to the net, pulled down by Kenny Janssen. So the Islanders now are going to be 2 men short for a minute 12.
Take a look at this play right from the face-off. Philadelphia decide they better try and get something done. Lindros wins the draw. Kenny Janssen has trouble clearing it. Hooks up on Leclerc. He goes into the net. Kenny Janssen goes to the penalty box.
Remember, the Islanders twice were down 2 men for various time spans on Sunday against Boston. Killed those disadvantages off completely both times. Right now, though, Desjardins and Therrien have the points. This is Therrien firing, missed the net, rebound, Lindros, a save by Sallo. Rindamore in the corner. Boy, how did Lindros miss the first one?
He hit the post, Howie. That's how he missed it.
Lindros up high. Holding. Now to Desjardins. Back for Lindros. A hard pass. Bad angle. The point clear.
Oh, what a bad pass. Desjardins trying to get it to Lindros. A very poor pass. He was not under pressure.
Now Desjardins with 37 left to the 5-on-3. Up to Leclerc. The Islander line. He drops it off to the point. Desjardins and Therrien. They catch at the point. Desjardins steps up. Takes it back. Fires. And saved by Sallo.
Wow, that's from about 25 feet. A blistering drive off the right point. Desjardins got the chance. Let's take a look. Here's the goal post. Lindros, he's going to hit it right about there with a backhand shot. There's the flip. Clunk. Woo, deadly in front. Cleared away by Scott LeChance. And then Desjardins takes a little pass. Right here. Boom. Good stop by Tommy Sallo. Good work in front of the net. Scott LeChance on Leclerc.
Still a 2-man advantage for the Flyers. Rindamore out of the corner. Get it through. Back for Therrien now. 11 to the 5-on-3 as Therrien missed the net. Lindén over to the boards. Couldn't clear the first time, nor the second. So Lindros keeps it deep for Philadelphia. Pilon getting ready to come back. Terrien's got the puck. Pilon out of the box. Lindros missed the net too. Lapointe over to the boards. First to get it, and he clears. 40 seconds of power play time remain for Philadelphia. That's what's left on Janssen's penalty. And that puck wound up in the Philadelphia bench.
Well, you see a smart play by the coaching staff in this case, Rick Bowness. As you look at the coach on the opposite side, he has to be disappointed. Rick Bowness had Linden out with another forward, Claude Lapointe, up front. That meant when out of the box comes Pilon, he goes right to the defense, Howie. Linden then moves up. But they're not really set up as two defense and a forward in a three-man defensive form. You just got to have motion.
From the draw, Rich Pilon has some room, but he couldn't blast it all the way down as Richardson cut it off. He's 7th of the power play. Joseph and Richardson have the points now with Daig and Klatt Bratton up front for Philadelphia. Trent Klatt up the right wing. Cross-ice pass. It's Daig by a mile. And Tom Chorske shoots it down the ice. 10 seconds left. The Islander penalty killing has been superb for a long time now. And it's getting even better when you consider they've had to stop 5-on-3s over the last 2 games. Salo holds on just as Janssen steps out of the box. And the Islander penalty killers have done it again.
Boy, that's big, Howie. Eric Lindros does hit the goal post. But the Islanders keep Philadelphia with a solid 2-man advantage from doing any damage. That's Leclerc, Lindros first. Leclerc, Joel Otto, as they try to encourage each other. They recognize how the motions of hockey can switch and the emotions of hockey that can switch it.
How good has the penalty killing been? How about including tonight now, only allowing 5 power play goals in the last 67 times shorthanded. That's over the last 16 games, or at least 15 plus, including this one. There's a sharp angle shot by Gratton that didn't get through. And Brian Berard hustles ahead. Berard left the puck outside the line. And Reichel takes it all the way back to the Islander zone. 2.5 gone in the second. Still 2-0 New York. Chinov and Palffy scoring in the first period. Reichel, sharp angle. Snow took it away. Palffy hits the side of the net. And Chris Gratton, number 55, lifts it softly ahead. On the move now, Joseph. And Chris Joseph curls it behind the Islander goal. Berard's got it back. Now for a chance. Colin Forbes out with Sillinger and Zubris on the Flyers' third line. Zubris couldn't get through. He was checked by Nemchinov. And the puck winds up in the Flyer bench. 3:05 gone in the second. He's got one of the Islanders' 2.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this. And Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm going to beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
Integrity is the foundation. Humanity is the stone. Compassion is the mortar. Strength is the steel. These are the values that built this company. These are the values behind the products we offer and the services we provide. For more than 150 years, these are the values that have made New York Life the company you keep.
Paul Cruz, energy player, put some pucks in the net not long ago. Our Volkswagen hardest driver. And why? Well, he drives. He drives all over the net, all over the ice, I should say, hard. As we take a look at, he's handing it out and he's taking it, but he keeps driving. The hard driving Paul Cruz.
Yeah, he generally is playing on the Islanders' 4th line. It's the 3rd line that Rick Bowness is trying to jumpstart. Well, he's got Cherkovsky out tonight, basically replacing Huff with Janssens and Sacco, the other Islander forwards. Rick was saying before the game that the problem with the 3rd line hasn't even been so much not being able to do anything in terms of finishing. They haven't gotten any chances. They've created absolutely nothing offensively. And there, a steal by Sillinger, but a fan on a passing attempt.
Colin Forbes, a long time alone in front of the net, Howie. That's something that I'm sure that they'll have to talk about. You can't leave players all alone in front of your net, particularly with Philadelphia in this case in possession of the puck.
Linus Zubris, cross-ice Sillinger, but that shot eaten by Pilon. Desjardins got it back. Flings one up high, and Salo sweeps it to the corner. Zubris knocked down by the combination of Strudwick and Chorsky. The puck recovered by Colin Forbes, and now he feeds Brindamore, or check that, Desjardins, pardon me, in the far corner. Now it's Forbes and Chorsky behind the net. Chorsky basically just shrugged Forbes off. Forbes was looking back at Paul Dvorsky, and now Chorsky puts him down again.
Make Forbes twice as mad. He was mad at the referee, went back after Chorsky. Chorsky knocked him down. Now he can get mad at both of them.
Kenny Janssen from long range misses the net, deflected by Linden, and to the crowd.
Philadelphia trying to pick things up right from the beginning of the second period. The Islanders go down 2 men because of a charge to the net. A mistake by the Islanders. Tom Chorsky. Good job there on Forbes. There's a way to intimidate players too, and that's one way. Forbes takes a run at him. He sees him coming, knocks him down. Now he's got him really thinking. Now he's got him really mad at him. He's mad at the referee, that's Forbes. Also mad at Tom Chorsky.
Of course, he knew the referee, Paul Dvorsky, was within range as well. So how careful did Chorsky have to be there? He had to know he was being watched.
Well, you know, he was mad because he felt that Chorsky had used his other hand, stick in one hand, open hand, to grab his stick and pull it off the puck. And there he is. He's got to be concerned. His team isn't playing with the kinds of consistency that they should be.
They fell 13 points behind the first-place Devils in the Atlantic Division with last night's loss. Of course, that puts them third in the conference. LeClaire in over the line. Quick shot, kick, save Salo, who stood up as well. And now the Islanders try to counterattack. Linden with Smolinski. Smolinski a drive and a save by Snow. Smolinski gets back up. Shrugs off the referee, Paul Dvorsky, but not Chris Terrien. It's back out in center. Pilon leans ahead. The puck winds up on the Islander bench.
Rich Pilon, you see just a moment ago, signs and signals in a hockey game. Rich Pilon, whistle blows. Who skates by and just brushes sweater to sweater with Pilon? Lindros. And Lindros down in the corner a moment ago knocked one of the Islanders down just nonchalantly. So effective. What Rich Pilon wants to do is he wants to have Lindros or anybody else that's out on the ice at the time thinking about him, getting them off their game plan, breaking their concentration.
J.J. Daigneault to LaChance on the Islander blue line. Joseph chasing behind the net. He's hit by Reichel. And now it's Rod Brindamore able to clear. LaChance in front. Reichel looking for the tip. Alfie and Richardson come together. And the pop-up fielded by Reichel. Being knocked down by Samuelson. There's going to be a penalty. Check that, Chris Gretton. Chris Gretton, number 55, pulls down Reichel, and the Islanders will go to the power play. Matt Laughlin is standing by downstairs with a special guest. Matty,
he's coming. Well, we're waiting for Butch Goring to join us. I thought we'd have it set up, but we're waiting just a moment for Butch to join us. Of course, he was the final piece of the puzzle in that first Stanley Cup year, coming over just prior to the trade deadline, and now Butch has joined us. And when you came from the Los Angeles Kings to the Islanders, what did you expect to be able to do in such a short period of time?
Well, I expected to win right away. You know, they had a great hockey team before I got there, so I figured this was a great break for me, a chance to win a Stanley Cup.
And of course, you won the Stanley Cup. What was it like as the explosion took place on this ice in that overtime goal scored by Bobby Nystrom?
One of the great moments of my life. It's, you know, we were all so tired and we're so emotionally high for that particular series that it was like such a great relief. You had such a great emotional high for us.
And of course, then the pressure was on. But that's good pressure to defend a Stanley Cup.
Yes, it's great.
Is standing by downstairs with a special guest. Matty,
he's coming. Well, we're waiting for Butch Goring to join us. I thought we'd have it set up, but we're waiting just a moment for Butch to join us. Of course, he was the final piece of the puzzle in that first Stanley Cup year, coming over just prior to the trade deadline, and now Butch has joined us. And when you came from the Los Angeles Kings to the Islanders, what did you expect to be able to do in such a short period of time?
Well, I expected to win right away. You know, they had a great hockey team before I got there, so I figured this was a great break for me, a chance to win a Stanley Cup.
And of course, you won the Stanley Cup. What was it like as the explosion took place on this ice in that overtime goal scored by Bobby Nystrom?
One of the great moments of my life. It's, we were all so tired and we're so emotionally high for that particular series that it was like such a great relief. You had such a great emotional high for us.
And of course, then the pressure was on. But that's good pressure to defend a Stanley Cup.
Yes, it's great. I'll tell you what, it was a lot easier the second time. Everybody was more relaxed, more confident in their abilities. They were great teams and made everybody's job easy. And of course, you meet your former teammates tonight. What's the talk of the reunion all about? Well, we think it's just terrific. What a reception tonight by the fans. I mean, they were really up for it. I mean, the new owners have done a terrific job. I mean, this was exciting tonight. Let's carry it over to the game tonight. Well, Butch Goring got a warm reception. Right now, some action down on the ice. Butch, we appreciate you spending time with us. Thank you very much. Fellas.
Islanders controlling on the power play, but Palffy's drive goes off the skate of Desjardins and winds up on the crowd.
A power play operating on all cylinders again. Palffy wheeling that shot off Desjardins' skate up into the seats, but the Islanders with a couple of deflected shots came very close, and that's the idea. Keep the feet moving, keep the puck moving, be in motion. There's one of the plays to the front. Linden fights off a check from behind to get a shot away. Philadelphia can't get it out. That's the area. That's the area that you've got to get it out. That was Palffy's shot as it ricocheted into the seats. But when you have possession of the puck and you're not under a lot of pressure and you're a penalty killer, everybody on the bench, everybody on the ice that's got the same sweater on as you expects you to get it out.
Here comes big Eric Lindros. He was stick checked by Janssen, and Smolinski regains the puck. And at 5 to go to the Islander power play. 14:23 left, second period, 2-0 New York. Janssen up the middle. Nemchinov finds Smolinski. And Snow plays the carry. Samuelson and Chorsky get together. But Lindros shoots it all the way down. Now the Islanders completing a change. Daigneault replacing Janssen. Ryan Berard trying to skip ahead. Watched by Otto, so now Nemchinov lugs it in. He's surrounded. The Flyers get it back, but Desjardins put it off of Chorsky. Smolinski for New York. Back for Chorsky. Islanders trying to spread it out now as Chorsky looks for help. Feeds the point. That's Daigneault. His drive tipped and just goes wide. Chorsky and Desjardins bump all the way to Berard at the point. Ryan Berard with 12 to the power play. Straight away now to Daigneault. Berard again. Winds and fires. It's tipped wide. Daigneault trying to keep it in. Could not as Bodie knocked it away. And here's a lead for Gratton out of the box. He shoots and a pad save by Salo. Salo saw Gratton coming out of the box and took the angle away. 3 shots unofficially for the Islanders on that power play. About 8 minutes gone now in the second period. 19-12, the shots favor the Flyers. It's 2-0 Islanders. Sillinger trying to sneak through. Daigneault cut him off. Zubris and Sacco battle. Worked out of the zone, brought back in offside by Richardson. 8:15 gone by, second period. Still the Islanders by 2.
I was named after the sound of a goal being scored. Kachuk. Last season, goalies heard my name 52 times. Could have been more, but I spent over 200 minutes in the penalty box. That's the way I play, hard and fast. Like NHL Breakaway 98, with rumble pack checking, high-powered goal scoring, and the best graphics on ice. NHL Breakaway 98. Looks like we got a new leader of the pack. Acclaimed Sports. Sweat the details.
Friday on Fox Sports New York, Zygmunt Palffy leads the Islanders' scoring attack. Sabres goalie Dominik Hasek stands in his way. The Islanders head up to Buffalo. Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York 2. Be glad you're just watching.
Coast to coast, the word is in the air. Finally, America's getting epic sports talk. Jim Rome.
Let me take the last word.
Wallace Matthews.
Anytime you're ready, Jim.
The Last Word. Weeknights at 12 and 5 on Fox Sports New York.
Now let's look again at our Volkswagen hard driver, and it's Paul Cruz. He loves to be aggressive in his game. He hits, he takes hits. Boom, there he hands one out to Luke Richardson. Cruz takes one from Shell Samuelson. He and Samuelson still A hard driver in Paul Cruz, our Volkswagen hard driver.
Stop the chance for the Islanders. Failing to clear, Sillinger plays it down the boards, gets it back from Forbes. Now Zubris wheels one wide. Forbes and Daigneault go to the corner. But it's Cruz up ahead. Pinned by Sillinger following Lapointe. Though Lapointe pulls up. And turns it to the corner. Webb couldn't hold on as it came in front. And the Flyers try to counterattack. Forbes up the middle. Lapointe got a piece of it. It's a piece of his own man. Webb along the way. And somebody got a big piece of Zubris. I think it was LaChance.
Now is our hard driver, I think, Paul Cruz. Now Richardson's after somebody. I believe, Howie, it was Paul Cruz that just ran over with some hard driving the Philadelphia player.
Well, there's going to be a penalty first to the Islanders, and that's barring anything further from the scrum. You're right, it is Cruz who's headed off. Zubris was looking for the license plate.
I think he got an elbow into the face of Zubris, or at least into his helmet, and sent it flying. Let's take a look. Philadelphia, right there. Oh, yeah, nasty, nasty elbow. No question, the referee with his arm in the air. Zubris gets up immediately. See, Cruz didn't go after him, but there's Richardson after Paul Cruz.
So the Flyers are going to go to the power play once again. Philadelphia so far tonight with 3 power plays. This will be their 4th, but Matt Laughlin is standing by with his special guest.
And he is Bobby Bourne, Howie, here with the Islander alumni. And Bobby, 4 Stanley Cups. The first one was highlighted tonight on the scoreboard. Had to bring back some special memories.
Yeah, it really does. Just being back in the building here and seeing all the guys gives you a real good feeling.
You had size, you had speed. Chico Resch was telling me you were the fastest guy in the NHL back in the day.
Well, I think at one time I was right up there. I mean, there was a few other guys that would probably give me some competition, but I could move pretty good.
What made that group of players that won 4 straight cups so special?
It's so plain and simple. All we cared about was winning, and all we cared about was each other. And it's a different game today, Matt, with the salaries, and we just wanted to win. And the good thing about it is Al and Bill Torrey kept us together for so many years, and we grew to be like a family.
Well, win this club did, of course, winning 4 straight Stanley Cup titles. What's Bobby Bourne up to these days?
I'm coaching in Utah in the International League with Butch Goring. Butch is the coach and GM, and I'm the assistant in both capacities. I was in Texas for a couple of years. We started up a league down there in the Western Professional Hockey League, and I was GM coach there, and just hoping to get back here one day.
And back he came tonight and received a warm reception. When you were playing, did you ever think that you'd be a coach? And do you have a little more appreciation for what Al was trying to tell you as a player?
I do. No, I never thought I'd be a coach. I never wanted to. And then I got out of the game for about 5 years, became a stockbroker, realized that I missed the game so bad. And so I do appreciate Al a lot more. And I mean, I loved him as a coach then, but I think I love him even more now.
Well, an Islander fan certainly appreciate what Bobby Bourne meant to the club. Fellas?
I'll tell you what, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better deal that Bill Torrey ever made than the one which sent a journeyman defenseman who never played, I don't believe, in the National Hockey League after he made the trade. Bart Crashley, who was Islander property, went to the World Hockey Association, but the Islanders traded his rights to the Kansas City Scouts, who nowadays are the New Jersey Devils, for a youngster named Bob Bourne. That worked out all right.
Did it ever, yeah.
Janssen behind the net. Still 1 minute and 10 remaining on the Flyer power play. Chris Therien with a wrist shot that's tipped. Salo scrambling. Lindros a poke at it. Brind'Amour scores.
Brind'Amour had a couple of shots at Tommy Salo earlier. Lindros also had one point blank. Salo beat them both. And this time Salo committed after making the initial save. Is down. Brind'Amour gets lots of time, and he easily plants it in the top of the net. A costly penalty to Paul Cruz. Let's take a look down low. There's the 3 players. Lindros chopping away, and Rod Brind'Amour popping it into the top. There's the initial save. Now the goaltender needs help. There's another save. He can't get a hold of the loose puck. Brind'Amour, you see it fly over the top of the sprawling goaltender. His 26th of the season. It's a 2-1 hockey game.
And he's such a good even strength player. It's only his 6th power play goal of the year. 9:53 the time of the goal. So half a game remaining. The Islander lead now 1. Each team with a power play goal. Ryan Berard. The team behind the Islander net comes around to the left point. Richardson a drive, but that's tipped and winds up in the crowd.
So important for the Islanders, Howie. They've got to regroup here. Philadelphia has spent the first half of this period in the Islanders' end of the ice, and it was a power play that Paul Cruz took a penalty on that created the scoring situation for, there he is, Rod Brindamore. Rogaine extra strength advantage. Well, Philadelphia, don't have to give them too many advantages. 3 players, 3 Philadelphia Flyers, the top 10, the NHL in goals. Last team, Pittsburgh. Mullen, Yager, and Stevens, excuse me. Mario Lemieux.
Flyers have outshot the Islanders 24-12 by a 2-1 margin, but 14 of the Philadelphia shots have come on the power play. Reichel, a setup in front, hopped over Palffy's stick. Reichel has it back as he's hit by Shel Samuelson behind the net. Islanders almost caught a huge break. And now a chance off of Reichel. And Palffy's got it back. Tried to skip around Zubris. Behind the net, it's Reichel. Centering feed, Zubris peeled it off. Sillinger goes rink wide to Forbes. Berard back as Forbes fires, and a blocker save by Salo. Here's where the Islanders have been so fragile in games, where they've got a lead, and even if they're not necessarily controlling the play, Alan Forbes got a shot there that was stopped by Salo. The first hint of adversity oftentimes has doomed the Islanders. That's why this will be an interesting few minutes.
You're right, Howie, and the reason they start to freeze up. They don't want to make the next mistake. Nobody wants to make the next mistake. Consequently, they make more. But here the Islanders cover well.
And Sacco, using his speed, blows past Desjardins. Fires on a glove save made by Snow. 8:23 to go in the second period. One thing you notice instantly about Joe Sacco, he has wheels. The finisher's touch, not quite. But for now, the Islanders have a 1-goal lead.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Our newest fan policy is to have subordinates appraise their boss's job performance.
I give you a D-.
Did I mention retribution?
Careful, sir. You're hanging by a thread.
For A-plus technology at guaranteed low prices, come to Office Depot. Over 600 convenient locations for computers and everything that goes with them. Hardware, software, printers, and more. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
Martin Brodeur and the Devils aim to shut down Ray Bourque and the Boston Bruins. Thursday night at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York. Be glad you're just watching.
Well, Garth Snow just made an outstanding save. A couple of guys who are familiar with making outstanding saves are with us, Billy Smith and Chico Resch. And Billy, of course, you were the man between the pipes for those 4 Stanley Cup championships. What a thrill it was to join all your teammates out on the ice tonight, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Like, fortunately, I see Chico every now and then because he's with New Jersey, me in Florida. But a lot of the guys that late Wayne Merrick I haven't seen for 10 years. So it's really nice that the Islanders here through this function were able to get a lot of the guys back together, you know, have a good time.
You carved a niche for yourself, as Tommy Salo's doing tonight in front of the goal, but also you carved a niche with your stick. You protected your area, didn't you?
Yeah, but not today. You can't get away with it, unfortunately. But what can you do? New era, I guess, eh?
Sounds like he longs for the old days. Chico, of course, you were teammates with Smitty. What was it like, the competition you two guys had?
You know, there really wasn't a lot of competition as far as us trying to beat each other out. Al Arbor, who's just sitting down the way here, did a great job back in that era of giving us both enough action, Matty. So, you know, we were able to build a real strong friendship, and, you know, it was just a pleasure to play, and Smitty and I would help each other and tell, you know, little tidbits about what we were doing right or what we were doing wrong. And, you know, it was just a real pleasure, and I can honestly say, and maybe that's one of the things that makes me feel good about my career, I was as happy when Smitty won that cup as if I'd been in there myself. And, you know, he's always been one of my best friends on the team, and that continues today.
And when you were introduced as one of the most popular Islanders, and you did get a great reception.
Yeah, that was nice to hear. That was really nice to hear, because the fans here, you know, I think because they're starving for a winner now, still kind of point back to those days. And so whenever any of us come around, and you see how many guys showed up, Matty, we love to come back because we're so well received.
All right, Chico, Billy, thanks for spending time with us, and continued success. And maybe they might want to put the pads on, fellas.
Nobody would argue if they put them back on. I don't think you could coax them into it.
Well, what do you think, Eddie? Did Billy Smith win something of a moral victory, even though it came after his playing days when the goal crease was enlarged to the semicircle that you see now? Because, I mean, let's face it, the rules have evolved to the point where I think the goaltenders are better protected today than they've ever been. And how often do you see anybody get a penalty for really running a goaltender?
Well, they need to do that. And the reason they had to do that, Howie, not so much from Billy Smith, but you know, all of this stuff driving to the net. I mean, this was a cliche that every coach used on everybody, and a lot of players that didn't have the talent were starting to get goals by just taking the puck and running straight through the goaltender, right through the net. The only thing they had to do was follow the puck into the goal crease. So it was, you know, it was open season on goaltenders, and they were getting injured a lot, falling back and being driven back up against the goal posts and the crossbar. So they had to do something to give them a little more operating room.
Linus Zubris for the Flyers sets up Forbes. Quick shot wide to the right side of Salo. You can almost feel the Flyers really taking the play away from the Islanders now. Not that the Islanders had dominated the Flyers by any stretch of the imagination, but Tommy Salo, if not under siege right now, certainly under very close scrutiny. And during Matty's interview with Chico and Billy, he almost let one get through his pants.
Islanders are not skating as well as they did in the first period as Nemchinov tries to get deep. Got to keep the legs going.
Daigneault into the corner shell. Samuelson there for the Flyers. And it's Samuelson going cross ice to Terrien. The point watching. So is Sacco. Got a piece of it. And Samuelson works it ahead. Sillinger. Get it past Daigneault. And the Flyers play it deep with the play offside at the Islanders' blue line. Well, the Islanders will get a couple of days off and then see what they could do with Dominik Hasek, which is to say they'll try to do something nobody's done in the last couple of games, and that's put one by him.
It's almost to that point now, Howie, that if you can get a goal by him, never mind beat him. Let's see if we can get one past him, that Dominik Hasek, the Terminator. Somebody said he builds a wall. I said, yeah, he builds a brick wall in the net.
Back-to-back shutouts for Dominik Hasek against the Rangers last night, Washington the night before, giving him the league lead with 9. Belfour's got 8. Now the Islanders trying to get some pressure. Lapointe on the forecheck, dropped it, and Daigneault's shot goes wide. Burakovsky, but Strudwick couldn't hold it. And Brindamore jumps on the loose puck over the Islander line. And Salo holds on. 4:48 remaining, second period on the island. Still 2-1 New York.
In business, nothing should come between you and success. So Samsonite developed the new Easy Big Wheel with huge 6-inch wheels to go over and around practically any obstacle. Business travel is hard. Samsonite makes it easy.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration, my Volkswagen Jetta. Excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta is a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams. Because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Introducing the carry-on combo from Samsonite. It's one carry-on that goes both overhead and under the seat. Business travel is hard. Samsonite makes it easy.
You're watching the Islanders and the Flyers on Fox Sports New York. That's a smiling group of Islander alumni. When you win 4 straight cups, you got plenty to smile about in perpetuity. Coming up tonight at 10.
Hey, right to left, that's Richie Hansen, the Long Island kid. Butch Goring down, but we have to get back to the live action. We're having a good time watching the game and rehashing some wonderful moments.
Make sure to stay with us after the game tonight for Fox Sports News. Brindamore got that one through to Sallow. It's pushed back behind the net. Alexander Daig centers. Pushed wide by Brindamore. Grattan over to the far side. But Poffey's got it back, and he lifts it down the ice. Well, Daig's been pretty quiet. Not that he's made a whole lot of noise for the Flyers anyway since coming over from Ottawa. But
I was talking to the coach, Wayne Cashman, before the game, and he has not been disappointed in the effort that Alexander Daig has given him. And he said to Daig, I guess in a meeting he had with him not long ago, he said, remember when you were considered the best junior player in Canada, how hard you worked and how you wanted to be that? He said, think about it. You want to be the best hockey player you can be, Alexander Daig? Remember the effort you had to put in? That's all anybody's asking you to do. Super talk, wouldn't it?
Well, it's an old school guy like Cashman trying to preach to one of the nouveau riche, as in R-I-C-H. And now really one of the knocks on Alexander Daig in Ottawa was the fact that they felt, he'd even said some things that lent some credence to the theory that he was complacent because he'd made the big money. Instantly, of course, #1 overall draft pick. Now Trevor Linden drops it back to Pilon. If you're just joining us, you notice a couple of different things. Number one, the Islanders in their traditional classic jerseys, and Trevor Linden with the C on his, named the captain of the Islanders just about an hour before the game tonight. Not only did no one in the press know about it, Linden said he had no inkling of it until just about 1 hour before the game. 2:53 remaining in the second period. Still 2-1 Islanders. John LeClaire move it up at the line to LeChance. And now Daigneault goes cross ice to LeChance again. And Claude Lapointe with a dump in. Snow leaves it for Joseph. Cruz hit by Desjardins. Colin Forbes played it to the corner. Islanders working well down low here, trying to control the puck. Cruz puts it behind, and Snow winds it to the other side. And Chris Joseph just slides it towards the Islander line. Now that the Islanders are wearing their classic jerseys, I wonder if that means they'll reopen Dr. Generosity's after the game. Popular former Islander and fan hangout. Great pub, which is long since closed. It was on New Bridge Road, just off Hempstead Turnpike here. You know, for people who wax poetic about the old Brooklyn Dodger days and how we'll never again see that sense of community between fans and players, you don't have to go that many years back to find Dr. G's and Islander players and Islander fans mingling after games. And I mean, it never got out of hand. Players sitting with fans, everybody getting along great. You know, that's supposed to be a bygone era. It wasn't that long ago. That's what made it so special here when this team was winning.
Yes, and Potter's Pub just down the street, which is still there. Dr. G's is gone. It's something else now, but Potter's Pub is still there.
You think some of these guys are going to drive over to G's later and go, wait a minute, where'd you go?
That's Gary Howard rubbing his shoulder. Bobby Bourne, we saw earlier, sitting with his hand up to his chin. Mike Horty, a blonde standing facing the camera. So, yeah, I'm envious. But I'll get to see all the fellas later.
Shel Samuelson behind the Philadelphia net. Lifts it up ahead. Daigneault's got it back. And Samuelson off the board. And that one curls over the glass. So let's see what's coming up at the end of this second period. Our New York Marriott Marquis intermission report. It's Broadway's biggest hit. And Mike Bossy, who is the biggest goal-scoring hit on the island. We'll visit with Matt Laughlin, Deb Kauffman at the sports desk. Eddie and I will have highlights. Let's see. Mike Bossy will not get credit for career goal number 574, set up by Brian Trottier in the pregame festivities. He'll have to sit on 573. Bossy is the MC, though. I don't think many fans in the building realize that it was Mike Bossy's voice introducing his ex-teammates, but one thing everybody understands is Paul Dvorsky's whistle. And that's going to create an Islander power play.
A hooking penalty. Rod Brindamore, who has the only goal for Philadelphia in this hockey game. It was a power play goal. Going to give the Islanders the last minute and 11 seconds in power play time if they don't get one before that time runs out. Take a look as Brindamore along the blue line. There he is. You see the hook right there as he tugs away. Not a lot of hard hooking there by Brindamore on Robert Reichel.
So Wayne Cashman, if he appears to have a headache, it's understandable. That or maybe the contacts are starting to bother him. The Flyers once again have to defend against an Islander power play that's been hot lately. It's clicked once already today, and Berard fires, but it's knocked down. A rebound, Palffy. That's tipped. A save by Snow. Two of them, in fact. The second on Reichel.
Wow, close call. The Islanders right from the face-off. They get it cooking. Do the damage. Boy, what a way to go out of the period, regaining the 2-goal lead that they came in from the first period with. Let's take a look as the Islanders, they win the face-off. There's the point shot, stopped by Garth Snow. Fake by Palffy, and his shot on target. Reichel tries to hammer in the rebound.
Final minute of the period. Desjardins shoots it around the boards and down the ice. Salo leaves it for Berard. Janssen on the point, so the pressure from Otto keeps the Islanders pinned in their own zone. Reichel, Palffy, and Linden up front. Reichel fires, he hit the post. Rebound, Berard pulls up. He shoots, that's knocked down. Reichel in the corner. He took a hit. Oh, did he ever ring one off the iron? And now Berard's got it back. 26 seconds remain to the period. Palffy on right wing with Reichel. Linden heads to the net. Palffy in the corner. 18 to go in the period. Back for Berard. Now Palffy as Janssen cuts towards the net. Reichel feeds Berard. His drive, stick save, Snow, and he gathers it in with 6.4 to go.
Kenny Janssen gets hammered down to the ice in front of the net, but the Islanders get another scoring chance. Palffy getting up slowly in the corner. I think he's just tired at the end of the period. Near the end of the power play, Reichel hits the goalpost. What a shot on target. That's Trevor Linden as he comes down the ice. And there's the play. Boom. Man, you can hear it all over the place. Garth Snow looks, sees it going the other way instead of into the net, where Reichel had liked to have seen it. Love those kind when you're a forward that can shoot the puck with the timing of Robert Reichel, Howie. You just step up, the puck's sitting there, it's all teed up for you.
All right, 6.4 to go. What do they want to do on the draw here?
Probably back to Berard. He may need some help from the left winger, but he got it from the right, Linden.
Berard the drive, but it's blocked as Lindros slid out to make the stop. And that's the end of the second period. So the Islanders, who led 2-0 at the end of one period, give up a power play goal to the Flyers here in the second as Brindamore cuts the lead in half, and that's where we are at the end of two.
They set the pace, Philadelphia, from the beginning of the second period with a penalty as Leclerc darted for the net from the opening faceoff. Tommy Salo, another strong period.
So Steve Webb has been used sparingly by Rick Bowness, and the scoring has been rather light as well. Brindamore, the only Flyer goal, that came midway through the second on the power play. The Flyers out shooting the Islanders 27-17 for the game, 13-9 in the second. Our New York Marriott Marquis Intermission Report continues with Mike Bossy in a moment.
Prepare for a 2-hour Star Trek event.
This is not a game.
The Killing Game. Only on UPN.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mine's 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
Ship your package in 2 days with FedEx. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 days with UPS.
and you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 to 3 days with priority mail. And there's just one price zone.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Get ready. McDonald's has a huge deal coming to the New York tri-state area. Starting this Friday, get a delicious quarter pounder with cheese sandwich for just half price. Or a crispy chicken deluxe sandwich for just half price. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Visit the McFamily Activity Center at McDonald's today and pick up your coupons to save $3.50 on tickets to select performances of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. The greatest show on earth is coming to the New York area March 10th through April 13th.
Fortune 500 companies know that when it comes to renting a car, National Car Rental gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental. Let's go.
Scotland the Brave, with the regimental band of the Scots Guard and the pipes and drums and Highland dancers of the Black Watch. You don't have to be Scottish to feel the spirit of the Highlands in the deepest part of yourself. So reserve your tickets now for our celebration and bring your kith and kin to our wee musical party.
At the Nassau Coliseum Friday, March 6th. Tickets available at the box office, Ticketmaster, or charged by phone.
This is our New York Marriott Marquis Intermission Report, Broadway's biggest hit. And it was 6 years ago tonight that number 22 was raised to the rafters and retired by the Islanders. The number worn so well and so proudly by Mike Bossy. Al Arbor looking on, applauding Mike Bossy and what he meant to this franchise. 10 years he played for the Islanders, a career that ended much too soon because of a bad back. But, Mike, you were back here tonight to introduce all your former teammates. You were the PA announcer. How did you like that?
It was fun. I would have liked a little more light back there, though. I had trouble reading. Eyes are starting to go at this age.
Well, you did a great job, and certainly your eyes were sharp when you played the game. I was telling you during the commercial break, I looked up some numbers. I knew you were a prolific goal scorer, but the fewest goals you scored in a year was 38. That is unbelievable.
Last year. Thank you. Thank you.
When the game was going well, when you were putting in 60-plus goals a year into the net, what was it like? How does it feel when things go so well?
Well, you actually don't feel anything. I mean, you know, things are going well, and obviously, I mean, things like that start out with being on a great hockey team, and obviously I played on a great hockey team, and also with a great centerman. And you know, Brian and myself, we played together for 10 years. I mean, there were times, odd times when Al broke us up, when he got mad at us and broke us up, but you know, I played with Brian for 10 years, so we knew each other inside out, and it made it that much easier to play the game. But you know, when things are going well, you don't even think about what you're doing. You just go out there and do it.
When you and Brian were paired up, hooked up on that line, did you realize you had something special?
Well, I mean, it would be too easy to say yes. You know, I came in '77 as a rookie, and who knows, you know, who knew what was going to happen when I came in, and training camp hadn't been going well at all until Al threw me on a line with Clarkie and Brian, and we stayed together for a number of years after that, and I think they clicked. Things clicked as soon as we were put together. I know that you know, Brian's game and my game were made for each other, and it's one thing to have a game made for each other, but it's another thing to take advantage of it. And Brian and myself were two guys who wanted to be the best out there every night, and you know, we always had a friendly competition between the two of us, and it was healthy and it was successful.
We started this segment with a look back 6 years ago when your number 22 was retired. What did that mean to you when this organization honored you in such a way?
Well, there's no doubt that when you know you have your sweater retired, it's a great honor. There's no doubt about that, and it certainly brings back a lot of memories of things that you accomplished when you were on the team, and you know, it's a special thing to have done, and you know, I always enjoy coming back to Long Island. Every time I come back here, I'm treated like a king, and you know, I don't get to be applauded by 15,000 fans every day now in the career that I have. So it's nice. I'll take it, put it in my back pocket, and keep it for the future.
Well, 573 goals, 553 assists in 1991, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Mike Bossy, one of the greatest to play the game. We're going to take a short time out. When we come back, it's off to the sports desk with Deb Kauffman.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm going to beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
Budweiser presents Fight Time on Fox Sports New York. Friday on Fox Sports New York, Williams, Van Horn, and Cassell lead the Nets against Stockton, Malone, and Hornacek. The Nets are tested by the tough Utah Jazz. Friday night at 7:30 exclusively on Fox Sports New York.
For most repairs, car mechanics rely on these manuals. But for fixing transmissions, they rely on this. To find Lee Miles.
The most trusted name in transmissions. Get me to Lee Miles.
You may face some stiff penalties with a checking account at a big New York bank if your balance falls below the huge minimum, for using an ATM, for writing a check. So you may want to open a classic checking account at Home Federal. Balance is down to $100? No penalty. Want to use our ATMs or write a check? No penalty. Hey, it's only fair. At Home Federal, you don't have to go far to get far.
Q104, the 10 in a row classic rock station. 10 in a row or $10,000. Q104.
Breakaway showtime. He scores. Log on to the coolest game on earth. NHL.com puts you center ice with cool features, the latest stats, and hottest video clips. Listen to live radio broadcasts of virtually every NHL game free. It doesn't get any better than this, baby. Get cool gear from the NHL store, chat with NHL superstars, or jump to your favorite team's website. 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. Skate the web and score with NHL.com.
We continue at intermission now from the sports desk and checking in on some other games. The Bruins jumping out in front of Washington. It's 3-0 now. They're into the third period. Earlier in the game, Sergei Samsonov assisted on a Jason Allison goal. This time, Allison feeds Samsonov. It's his 13th, and Allison has the other two goals, 23rd and 24th for him. It's always a good matchup when Chicago and St. Louis get together. Tony Amani's pass hit the net, but it came right back to Steve Dubinsky. St. Louis scored the first goal of the game, so they are tied at 1-1 now after one. The Knicks have been leading the net since the opening tip. It is 75-68 in the fourth quarter here at Madison Square Garden. Big story in this game, though, the injury to Jason Williams. He hurt his hip and has not been able to continue. Iona celebrated today. They were going to the NCAA tournament, beating Siena last night to win the MAC tournament. At 27-5, they find out Sunday who they'll play. It's a relief to be in.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. It seemed like they had 6 guys on the court. The fans, they really helped them a lot. We was calling plays and we really couldn't hear what we was calling. So it was like 20 seconds on the shot clock, 15 seconds. We just on our offense and we couldn't really get good shots at the end of the game. So their crowd really helped them.
It was easy to lose your composure last night in that atmosphere. They had a tremendous home crowd there, and they were roaring with every basket, and they had the pressure on us. And we were coming back and slowly on defense, and then all of a sudden they pressed us. We made a run at them, and then John McDonald just took the game over.
The Mets finally get their first win of the spring, 5-2 over Montreal. Starting pitcher Paul Wilson got the win, but how about this? He also hit a home run off of Sean Bosky. Wilson gave up a pair of runs over 3 innings to get the win and also hit one out. Bernard Gilkey, by the way, arrested overnight in Port St. Lucie for driving under the influence. Back to Long Island for the third period after this.
The first digital camera with a move and zoom lens. A 3-foot cable shoots over the crowd's head, behind your back. Shoot up a storm, then download only the best into your PC. Yes, the Maj V, the digital camera with a fast break detachable lens, only from the mind of an author.
How can Geico save you money on car insurance when you buy from us directly? We cut out the middleman. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
That smell! It's my sweaty, smelly feet.
You need Odor Eaters foot powder. It can dry up 25 times more wetness than talc. And only Odor Eaters has Arm & Hammer baking soda. These Dr. Scholl's don't.
Nice and dry.
Odor Eaters foot powder.
There is a business class seat that tilts as a whole, raising your knees, distributing your weight evenly, and relaxing every part of your body, which makes it oh so easy to drift off. The Club World Cradle Seat, only on British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
There's your score at the end of 2 periods. The Islanders leading the Flyers by a goal, and the Flyer goal is our highlight, brought to you by New York Marriott Marquis.
It's a power play goal. That's Terry into the shot from the point. Lindros trying to hammer it, and then, yes, over a sprawling Tommy Salo. Rod Brindamore is 26th.
Brindamore had 6 shots. In fact, he's had 8 overall, 6 of them in that second period. Third period's coming right up.
Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York is brought to you in part by Discover Card. It pays to discover. Accepted where you see the Novus sign. And by your Tri-State GMC dealers.
Winter fun is heating up. It's time to go for the snow.
This is the place. This is the place to be.
GMC Jimmy. Get into available 4-wheel drive action and in control with just the push of a button, and Jimmy's deal just got better. Lease Jimmy SLS fully equipped for $299 a month. Let Jimmy help you get through this winter.
This is the place to be.
Go for the snow at your Tri-State GMC dealer. This is the place.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Ship your package in 2 days with FedEx. You'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 days with UPS. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 to 3 days with Priority Mail. And there's just 1 price zone.
So, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Get set for a new breed stampede. Leanne Rhymes and Brian White.
So much for pretending.
March 11th at Nassau Coliseum, giving New York something to talk about. The only New York area appearance. Be there when the magic happens. Reserve seats on sale Saturday morning at 10. Leanne Rhymes and Brian White, a Beaver production in support of DARE.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Islanders, and it's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Islanders and Fox Sports New York is prohibited.
And coming up this Saturday, Islanders back home against the Colorado Avalanche. Make sure to bring canned or non-perishable foods for the Island Harvest Food Drive and help the hungry of Long Island. Also, are you tired of logo changes? Well, bring your Fisherman logo apparel to the game and get a complimentary t-shirt with the infamous Islanders fan definition. Good seats are available at the Coliseum box office, Islanders team stores in the Smith Haven and Sunrise malls, Ticketmaster, or charge by phone at 516-888-9000. I guess it's safe to say the era of the Fisherman not only is over, but it is being ended rather emphatically and dramatically, although I kind of thought it was over before this year.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd want to mention it again, but they had part of this ceremony. They had Steve Webb come out with his fisherman jersey on and rip it off at center ice, exposing the sweaters that the Islanders are wearing in this hockey game. The delay right now is they had dropped the puck to start the third period, and it still reads, there it goes now. They just took 4 seconds off the board. Robert Reichel said, wait a minute, we dropped the puck, the play starts, we should lose some time here. Well, you can do that when you're ahead.
Yeah, every 4 seconds count when you're 1 goal up, as the Islanders are. They're also 1 man up for the first 44 seconds. That's the time remaining on Brindamore's penalty. So the rest of the Islander power play. Berard and Janssen on the points. Reichel, Linden, Palffy up front. This is Reichel gaining the zone. Otto and Podine the forwards to Jardin and Terrien. The defense for Philadelphia. This is Sean Podine. He was sparingly tonight. Unable to clear. Janssen for Reichel. Out of the corner, Palffy. Reichel again. Janssen straight away. Reichel a drive. He scores! New Jersey are all. They all count the same amount. It's 3-1 Islanders.
Yeah, the fans are having fun here, and rightfully so. The Islanders putting on a pretty good power play show here. Kenny Janssen back to Reichel. There's his drive. You see the wrinkle of the twine as the puck slammed into the lower left-hand side. The Islanders with another power play goal and a 3-1 lead.
Must be the jerseys. Pilon going back to get it in the Islanders zone. You know that's going to be an angle if they win this game. Richardson back in center to Samuelson. And it's recovered by Smolinski, although he overskates the puck. And Pilon steps into Leclerc. Leclerc had to take some inventory and find his stick. Now it's Lindros and Pilon tangled up as play moves the other way. We get a whistle. Janssen and Palffy assisting on Reichel's 22nd at 42 seconds. And boy, I wish you could see what's going on right next to me. Normally we'd give you warning, but these things are just too spontaneous to warn. Brian Trottier just came over. Eddie Westfall took his headset off, and Brian Trottier and Ed Westfall just embraced pretty emotionally. I don't know how long it's been since they've seen each other. Can't be all that long, because Brian, of course, had been an assistant coach with the Pittsburgh Penguins and is now coaching in the American League for the Washington Capitals. Well, they wanted to recreate the hug, and then we went away. All right, can't help these things, but Brian Trottier walking around all smiles tonight there at the Nassau Coliseum. Alexander Day up the near side. And Smolinski over skates. Alexander Dake put it off Linden's skate. Now Smolinski tries to whip it in front. That's chipped away. Linden in the corner with Lindros. Well, that's kind of emotional, huh?
Oh, yeah. We've been good friends a long time. We've, I've taken up. I remember when he first arrived, that Brian Trottier, he was with us at at playoff time. He was a junior hockey player. And I said, if anybody's going to come close to Gordie Howe, being Gordie Howe, although he's a left-hand shot, it's going to be this kid. I could tell just by the way he handled himself as an 18, 19-year-old. He was real cool. And he developed almost to that, in some people's eyes, that kind of stature.
I see another guy that you put up rent-free for a while.
Yes, I did.
At Westfall Arms.
Yeah, it was easy because they were a bunch of great young guys. Bobby Bourne when he came in, and Clark Gillies, and Brian Trottier. At some time or another, I think just about all of them lived at my house. I cooked the meals, and there's some wonderful, cute stories that we will share after this hockey game when we all get together.
Scott LaChance in the Island. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing the Islanders have scratched Mike Huff tonight, or else this might really have been a little bit too strange, because having not seen warm bodies in these jerseys on the ice for a long time, I know the natural inclination is to look at certain people and correlate the uniform numbers they're wearing tonight with the players from a generation to go. And of course, Mike Huff wears Eddie's former number 18. Here's Mariusz Czerkowski, or is that Billy Carroll? Behind the Philadelphia net. A set up from a point, and he missed the net. Sacco tied up in pursuit. Of course, it's not like these jerseys have been gone for all that long either. You have to go way back to the 94-95 season. Last time the Islanders wore them. Czerkowski gives it up at the line, and Brindamore has it back. Now Sillinger goes across ice. That's broken up. Well, the way you flung that headset off so quickly, I thought somebody was about to tee him up.
Well, listen, if I took a hug from him with a headset on, I mean, my head would have to be ringing for a week.
Colin Forbes with a wrist shot that snaps wide. And Palffy lifts it down the ice. Maybe an icing here if it has enough giddy up. It does. And Chris Therrien makes it official. 3:36 gone in the third period. Islanders have added to their lead.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mine's 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw on some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. Throw on your apron and the Discover card cashback bonus. It's the icing on the cake. What else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
With only 3 minutes and 36 seconds played in the third period, Rick Motus has to be happy the way his Islanders have started. They started with a power play and they score a goal. And since then, they didn't sit back, Howie. You noticed how they kept moving, kept pushing, the skates are moving. So when the feet are moving, the head's moving, the puck's moving, hard team to play against. They have to keep that up now for another 16 minutes.
Loose puck controlled by Palffy, who leads the Islanders to center. Berard jumping up on the right side, Nemchinov on the left. And it's Colin Forbes for Philadelphia. Palffy got it from him, and now Joseph has it back. Dinah Zubris looking for room to whirl. But Reichel takes it back for the Islanders with 4:06 gone here in the third period. Luke Richardson, number 22, watched by Palffy. And Richardson having trouble now with Smolinski. Before Forbes comes to center, Pilon leaned into him. And now Pilon hearing from Forbes, as well as Dan Lacroix, number 32. Although Lacroix's been on since the first period. This is Linden from a sharp angle, and Snow stops that. Smolinski in the slot. Pilon was in deep, but Leclerc shoved him.
There's that Richie Pilon again, and he just cut down. He just cut down one of the Philadelphia Flyers. Leclerc, and I think he's going to get a penalty for it.
Well, Lacroix went right back at Pilon, and now play is stopped while they look to unpeel this skirmish. But Pilon tried to put the hip on John LeClair, and then Lacroix went right at him.
Possibly Pilon gets down a little too low when he hits at LeClair. Rich Pilon getting up. Lacroix getting up after the exchange. Rich Pilon is heading down to a penalty box. Lacroix the same, so we'll have to wait. Here's the hit by Pilon as he went after LeClair, and there's boom. Oh, wow, look at that for a cross check. That's going to be an interesting call if the referee saw it. Now this, well, a little bit on the legs, up in the hip with his bottom end. Legs on legs down there, but then this, wow, just tried to take the head off of Rich Pilon. We'll wait and hear what the referee, here it is.
Now, does it look like he's going for the knee there? That looks kind of dangerous.
No, you know what? He committed early. And what happens is that the further you go trying to get to him, the lower you're going to get. And that's what happened.
Well, from the initial indication, the extra penalty is going to go against the Flyers for Lacroix coming in on Pilon after Pilon had missed most of that hit on John LeClair. And Eric Lindros, from the looks of things, certainly doesn't agree.
I didn't see the initial move, Howie, but I'll tell you on the replay, the cross-check that Lacroix threw at the head of Rich Pilon, that was a vicious, vicious move. Take another look and let you be the judge as Rich Pilon right here. Look at this. Oh, wow. That is hard. That is vicious. And I look to my left where Brian Burke, he is sitting exactly over where that happened. And it looks like just an extra 2 minutes.
So let me make sure I'm interpreting what you're saying properly about Pilon's hit. Because he was far enough off the board so that he had to travel a certain distance to get to LeClair, you're saying that that's what made it seem as though he had gone for the knees?
Well, that would be what someone is going to argue. Wait a minute. Now, Bonus is upset. Now, we were talking over the announcement here.
Well, Lacroix gets 2 for a cross-check and 2 for a rough. Pilon gets 2 for roughing, so the Islanders get a power play out of it. Now, did he want? He might want Lacroix to have gotten a major there.
Well, that was.
I think that's what he's arguing about.
Well, I think what he's saying is that it was a deliberate attempt to injure. Rich Pilon isn't. You see now he's committed. Look at his legs starting to fall out from underneath him. So he's in the act of falling, trying to get to LeClair just to bump him. But right here, right behind. Wow! I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. Wow! And now he starts pounding on him, and I think that's why Rick Bowness was upset, because it would appear from where he stood that the cross-check was a deliberate attempt to injure.
Rick Bowness was asking for 2 for tripping for somebody, but it's 2 for cross-checking, 2 for roughing on Lacroix, 2 for roughing on Pilon. End result, though, Islander power play. They lead 3-1 with 4:50 gone here in the third period. And Brian Berard plays it behind the Philadelphia net. Now Linden up the boards, picked off by Otto. And Brian Berard's got it back. Odin made a dive at him. Berard then overskates, but Coffey backs him up. Linden stayed onside. Odin rides Coffey in. Reichel in the slot, shoots, it's blocked. Comes back to Janssen. Berard was in deep. Flipped over his stick. And now Reichel shovels it around. Coffey was knocked down, but Berard's got the puck for New York. And at 18 to the Islander power play. Reichel to Janssen. Down low, it's Coffey. Berard sneaks to the net. Still in front is Brian Berard. So Reichel fires, but that's tipped. Berard now starting to peel back. Reichel with a pinch was hit by Podine, and now it's cleared by Otto.
That's a good move that the Islanders have been making on the power play, is to let Reichel circle with Berard, either or, and Reichel ends up on the right point position a good many times.
Smolinski over the line. Hit by Therien. Nemchinov in the corner. Now for Chorsky. Daigneault to LaChance. Half minute to the power play. Daigneault straight away, but that shot's blocked. Winds up in the seats, courtesy of Colin Ford.
Yeah, he's moving out very quickly. He knew that Daigneault had committed to shooting, although the Islanders had Nemchinov open on the left wing side down low.
On behalf of Fox Sports New York, we're proud to make a donation to Ronald McDonald House Charities for each goal the Islanders score in this game. They've got 3 so far, 2 more than the Flyers.
A.J. Daigneault. It's a good wrist shot, Howie. He has good balance when he's got the puck on his stick, and you saw him get that shot away, but it was a good play by Forbes. Although, I'm sure Daigneault thinking to himself just after that, had I held the puck, had I faked it and held it, boy, could I have gone straight to the net.
Islanders have the only 2 shots of the first 6.5 minutes of the third period. And it's cleared by Therien. 20 seconds of power play time remain. LaChance in his own zone. Now for Nemchinov. Nemchinov, Smolinski, and Chorsky the forward line as Nemchinov carries in. Took a good hit from Therien, and that'll just about take care of the power play. Daigneault back in, sets up Smolinski. Back for Daigneault. A.J. Daigneault now with a penalty over to Nemchinov, but his pass hit Brind'Amour and is brought along by Chris Therien. Hurry into the Islander blue line. That's one on goal. Salo holds on.
Reason you see Alexander Day down by the net, Howie, he came out of the penalty box. He was serving 2 of the penalty minutes.
7 minutes gone in the third. The Islander lead is 2.
I'm not superstitious at all. I prepare well. I'm sitting in the starting gate, knee deep in mud. Put my goggles down. The race starts, first pair gets muddy. The next pair gets muddy. The next pair gets muddy. And another. I'm down to my last pair. I'm at the finish line. I hope.
New York Thoroughbred Racing at Aqueduct, the most exciting ride in sports.
I'm not superstitious at all, but I always put my left boot on first.
And world peace. Could you please create a vast sports information source that's fast and fresh and loaded with attitude, where I could go for the latest sports dirt virtually any time, day or night? Oh. And could it be free?
Now, Fox Sports and Fox Sports New York bring you worldwide sports coverage plus your favorite home teams, and it's all free. Get your sports from a higher source. Fox Sports Online.
Thank you.
As the play ended, Sergei Nemchinov draws an interference penalty. So the Islanders with a face-off in their own end of the ice. He gets tied up with Brind'Amour right in the middle of there. Brind'Amour raises his arm up, signaling to the referees being interfered with through the center ice area. Restraining foul.
So the Islanders down a man as Nemchinov is in the box, and the Flyer power play features Joseph and Desjardins on the points, with Lindros, Leclerc, and Brind'Amour the forwards. Pilon back with Janssen. Another big hit by Pilon on Lindros. And they go at it again, but the Flyers hold the puck. Desjardins to Leclerc. Now it's Brind'Amour. Losing it to Janssen.
Boy, what a good play by Kenny Janssen. A couple of effective hits by Rich Pilon.
And the chant of Pilon. Desjardins gets it off of Salo's arm. Now Leclerc back forward, looks for the point, finds Joseph. To Desjardins. Salo a save, rebound off the post. A backhander by Brind'Amour hit the goal post. Flyers recover the puck. Desjardins to Brind'Amour for a tip that goes wide, and maybe Salo got a piece of that. Brind'Amour knocked down by LaChance. Chorsky peels it off to Linden, and the Islanders clear.
Well, the fans are enjoying it, Howie. They're behind this penalty-killing crew of the Islanders.
Good hit by Lapointe. Sacco's got the puck, working on Therien. But Chris Therien stayed with him. Half minute remaining. The Philadelphia power play. Pilon steps into Therien. And the puck to center. I don't know what real-time scoring says, but Rich Pilon must have thrown at least 10 effective body checks
Yeah,
tonight.
that's just in this half of the game.
And
He
there's
intercepts a beautiful play there.
up now to Palffy. Zygmunt Palffy spins it through the goal crease. And that'll take care of the penalty. Nemchinov is up and out of the box. Zubras in over the line, lost it there, and Nemchinov starts up. The Flyers were changing. Nemchinov to Reichel. Back to Nemchinov. Reichel shot blocked. It hit a leg. And Reichel in the corner. Leaves it behind the Flyers' goal. 10:41 to go in the third period. Now Palffy into the Philadelphia zone. Flyers have had 32 shots overall tonight. 18 of them coming on the power play. Their only goal coming with a man advantage, courtesy of Brindamore. Samuelson a drive, and Salo squeezes it.
Well, Rich Pilon deserves a lot of the credit. The fans around the Islander bench when he went off the ice at the end of that penalty kill were all on their feet, and I think that was a signal to Rich Pilon that they were really behind him for the effort that he put in with not just his physical play, but here, look at this. Wow, how would you like to be on the end of that? John Leclerc just there. Lindros gets hammered big time. Boom.
Now,
Terry in that time.
If you've been watching the game from start to finish, right, you would have to think that Pilon registered at least 4 or 5 hits total first 2 periods, right?
Yeah, I just thought you were going to say at least 4 or 5 on the Richter scale when he hammered them.
Well, according to real-time scoring, he was credited with no hits through the first 2 periods.
No, they were crushers. They don't call those hits. I don't know what they were watching.
Shorsky looking for Linden, took the shot, and Snow made the save. Now Pilon back for it. Sails it wide. I mean, what's a hit? Linden to Pilon. That shot fluttered off a deflection. And Snow's got it. A little more pushing and shoving.
Can you imagine how much salt there'd be in the wound, Howie, if that shot by Rich Pilon when he broke his stick had gone into the net? At least it looked like he broke his stick, but Rich Pilon, not only defensively, but offensively in this hockey game.
Well, what has Jay Altmaier whipped up? Fox Sports New York's Vice President of Trivia presents our Dodge Trivia Quiz.
Aha! State in '84, the Islanders tied the record for the most goals in the game. How many did they score? 1984. Boy, some of the alumni were around at that time. Yep.
The draw will be to the right side of Garth Snow. Islanders not challenging that record tonight, although leading 3-1. That deflects. Podine still chasing. A Salo poke check. Podine out from behind, put it in front. Resistant work by Sean Podine, but it's Palffy back the other way. In for Berard, but his shot is blocked. Karam's in front. Richardson got knocked down, but Brindamore on the puck. Michael goes after him. And now Richardson up ahead. Brindamore over the blue line to Podine. Was blocked by Scott Lachance. And Nemchinov takes a hit, fails to clear. It's another chance. And Sergei Nemchinov this time moves it crisply to Berard. The Flyer blue line. Samuelson goes to him. Nobody home to accept the pass, so Grattan for the Flyers. Moves Forbes down the right wing. The point withstands the shove to the face from Colin Forbes. Zubras over to get now to Terrien, but that was blocked by Sacco. Tries to tie up Terrien while the point pursues the puck. And it's Forbes getting it back with 8.5 to go in the third. Berard and Zubras puck. Sacco on the puck, but a hand pass indicated in the neutral zone by referee Paul Dvorsky. Well, that's the only man who's ever worn jersey number 13 for the Islanders, so at least that's something different. The Islanders with a lead.
Every year, the guys get younger and younger. There's a rookie who's 19. That even makes me feel old. That's why I'd never play a game without my Ginsana. Ginsana is the real stuff. G115 ginseng. It works through my body to help make the most of my natural energy, so I feel good.
Ginsana Energy helps you run the court and your life.
Everybody's got a choice. You can feel your age, or you can feel your Ginsana.
Feel your Ginsana, the original all-natural energizer.
Perhaps it was Dorothy first glimpsing Oz, the flying monkeys descending from a darkening sky, or the delicious demise of the Wicked Witch of the West. But whatever delighted you most, it's here, brought musically and magically to life. The Dime presents The Wizard of Oz with Mickey Rooney and Eartha Kitt in a special limited engagement at the theater at Madison Square Garden, May 1st to 31st, brought to you by Cold Ease.
Well, is it time now for our answer to the Dodge Trivia Quiz? How many goals?
Double digits, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'm guessing 11.
Bingo.
Aha! How many times does a team get to score 11 goals? Not that often. Islanders have done it a couple of times.
Yeah, that was just after the Olympics of 1984 with Pat LaFontaine and Pat Flatley joined the Islanders. Didn't they figure in that 11-goal output?
Yeah, Pat Flatley. They started in Winnipeg that year, coming back from the Olympics, playing the two of them. Came back, and Flatley scored his first goal in his first game as an Islander. And Pat LaFontaine, the next game, I think he had something like 5 points against Toronto in that 11-goal outburst.
Now Leclerc just got a piece of Pilon, but Linden carries ahead. A drop for Smolinski, stays with it, and then loses it to Leclerc. Taken down by Smolinski. Joseph finished his check on Brian Smolinski. Time becoming a factor now in the favor of the Islanders, who lead 3-1, 7.5 to go. The only other time the Islanders scored 11 goals was just a couple of months before that, December 20th of 1983 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Centering feed to Sillinger, but that deflects off an Islanders stick and into the crowd. So the Islanders leading here 3-1 with 7:16 remaining in the third period. Let's take a look at what else is coming up this week. Busy schedule as always. Tomorrow on MSG, Rangers Panthers at 7:30, and then Thursday the Knicks in Washington to take on the Wizards at 7. On Fox Sports New York, the Devils are home to tangle with the Bruins at 7:30. And on Friday at 7:30, the Mailman comes to New Jersey. The Nets and the Jazz on Fox Sports New York, while the Islanders and Sabres meet in Buffalo on Fox Sports 2. All coming up this week on MSG and Fox Sports New York. Check your local listing. Last time the Islanders saw Dominik Hasek and the Buffalo Sabres, the Islanders shut them out right here at the Coliseum. That was on December the 17th of this season. Hasek has pitched a couple of straight shutouts. Colin Forbes fires one off the arm of Salo.
Islanders are making a mistake now, Howie. They've stopped skating, and the Philadelphia Flyers are buzzing all around in their end of the ice.
Joel Samuelson, watched by Palffy, moves it ahead to Richardson. And now it's LeChance on the Islander end of the ice. Off the wall, Samuelson, marked by Nemchinov. Mike Sillinger ahead. Tried to get it to Brindamore. Palffy said no. Sacco pressuring. But Zubris recovers. And Berard again. Off the right wing boards. And Sacco back to get it. And Chris Therien behind the Philadelphia goal. Gives it to Desjardins. Trent Klatt, number 20. Checked by Sacco. Recovering is Brindamore. And now Therien tries to tee it up. Chris Therien shot tipped and goes wide. Maybe Salo got a piece of it through some traffic. Pat Berard tied up behind the net. Gratton in there too. And it's Gratton number 55 for the Flyers in the corner. Feeding the point. Therien a long drive. Blocked by LaPointe and cleared by Sacco. 5:45 to go in the third. Ryan Berard with the Flyers changing. Just fires it all the way down. This will be an icing as Richardson makes the touch.
Not the kind of play that I think Brian Berard was hoping was going to happen. How he was trying to shoot it at the goal. Create a situation where there was no icing. He's a little upset with himself that he missed the net in this haste. Maybe you get tired, you know, you get out there, you're a little bit too long, and aim isn't that good. The other play, and I'm sure he'll learn how to do it, if he took the puck and banked it off the boards over near the penalty bench on this side of the ice, and then it would bounce back towards the other side. It wouldn't go for icing, kill a lot of time, give your team a chance to change. Trevor Linden, I would have to think, with 5.5 minutes remaining in this hockey game, we'll see a lot of face-offs if the Islanders can't get out of their own end of the ice. They've got to stop this offensive drive by Philadelphia.
Luke Richardson for the Flyers. Plays it hard around over Salo's stick. Held in now by Joseph. Lindros throws it at the net. It caromed off of Salo. Winds up in the corner. Then up the boards, held by Daig. Alexander Daig from long range. And now Joseph. Behind the net, Smolinski for the Islanders. Off the glass and down the ice. 5 minutes to go in the third. Thing that's been interesting to note, earlier in the game, Mark Janssens was having a lot of trouble on faceoffs. Janssen started out essentially on the third line. Claude Lapointe has graduated one line up. Lapointe basically was starting on the fourth unit tonight, but he has gotten all of that third line time, and Janssens has been sparingly used over the last 2 periods.
Twice there, Islanders didn't get the puck out. They had good control and weren't under pressure. Now Nemchinov has done the job. But they can't play defensive, Howie. This team has too much power, too much offensive power to play in your own end and play against them.
Robert Reichel's had an outstanding game for the Islanders. Here he is again with the puck. He's won, or did anyway, 12 out of 16 faceoffs through 2 periods. Of course, that's been such a sore point for Rick Bowness, weak point for the Islanders all year. Down to 4 minutes to go in the third. Pilon. Boy, if you were going to name 3 stars to this game, they can do a lot worse than Salo, Pilon, and Reichel. And here's Cruz. All Cruz from a sharp angle. Garth Snow made the save. Lapointe to Sacco. His drive is covered by Snow. 3:41 remaining in the third period. The Islanders that close to a second straight win over the Flyers.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Our newest fan policy is to have subordinates appraise their boss's job performance.
I give you a D-.
Did I mention retribution?
Careful, sir. You're hanging by a thread.
For A-plus technology at guaranteed low prices, come to Office Depot. Over 600 convenient locations for computers and everything that goes with them. Hardware, software, printers, and more. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Well, my Discover Card statement reads like a wish list. Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. The best thing you can do with your Discover Card cashback bonus is give it straight to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's what I do.
It pays to discover. Call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2.
Accepted where you see the nervous sign.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Modell's, the official sporting goods store of the Islanders. For the guaranteed lowest prices on sports gear and apparel, you gotta go to Moe's. 12,000 and change on hand for the festivities tonight. The alumni honored. The Islanders wearing the classic Islander jerseys, which may return at least partway next year. And there's still some question as to whether or not the Islanders will be able to make a full-time uniform change next year. Usually league rules dictate that you must petition the league to make a uniform change by October the 15th of the prior season. Obviously, the new ownership wasn't in place that long ago, so they may have trouble doing it. And there's also still some question as to whether or not these are exactly how the next wave of Islander jerseys will look. It could be a little something on the shoulders to support that classic look. It's also possible the uniform design, save of course for the departed fishermen that the Islanders have worn for the past 3 seasons, will resurface as the third jersey or the alternate jersey. Will all be hammered out in due time. At the very least, the Islanders with a 3-1 lead here, and Reichel driving in. Snow pokes it away. And Richardson for the Flyers as we approach 3 minutes to go in the third period. Islanders leading 3-1. Boy, Reichel has had a superb game at both ends tonight.
He's really worked, Howie, and he's done a good job just moments ago there, stealing a puck away. He's used his body effectively a couple of times, something we haven't seen him do much of in the past.
has a goal, and there's going to be a penalty here as Janssen was pulled down. 2:38 remaining in the third. The Islanders are going to go to the power play with a 2-goal lead.
Chris Gratton, is it, or is it? No, it's John LeClaire gets caught in the offensive zone. What a bad penalty. That's some of the frustration that the Islanders have created for LeClaire. Lindros, a holding penalty in the offensive zone. So with 2.5 minutes remaining, there's John LeClaire. Woo. Reached out, just pushed. Kenny Janssen off balance.
Islanders and Sabres coming up on Friday night at Marine Midland Arena. Sports Authority game time. Note the later start there, 7:15. And they'll drop the puck a little after 7:30. Hope you'll be with us on Fox Sports New York 2. The size of the Islanders lead. 2.5 remain in the third period. And 2 minutes being served by John LeClaire, which put the Islanders in pretty good stead. Islanders looking to end a 3-game losing streak. And thanks to the struggles of the Ottawa Senators, the Islanders remaining very much in the playoff picture. Meantime, a wrestling match in the Philadelphia zone. It's Chorsky of the Islanders and Samuelson of the Flyers. And now Lindros challenges Chorsky. And the linesmen Kevin Collins and Pat DiPuzzo intercede. Cover Linden around there as well.
Yeah, you skate in when Lindros is there and hope that it's all been diffused by the time you get there. Eric Lindros, you know, coming into this hockey game, talking with some of the people that travel with the Philadelphia Flyers, Eric Lindros hadn't been credited with a body check in a couple of hockey games, which is very unusual. Tom Chorsky trying to get away. Kjell Samuelson had his legs wrapped around him first. They're long legs at 6'6". There's Lindros as he goes after Tom Chorsky.
Well, you know, the Flyers have really been struggling, although you almost have to look at anything that went on before the Olympic break as somewhat immaterial. That's because Lindros and the Flyers had 3 full weeks off. Their game on Saturday against the Rangers at the Garden was their first game since the Olympic break. So they'd lost 5 out of 6 going into the Olympics. And now if the Islanders hold on here, they'll have lost 2 more since the Olympic break in 3 games played, meaning 7 out of 9 overall. However, now the Flyers are going to have a lot of games at home at the Core State Center. 7 of their next 8 will be in Philadelphia. And again, the Islanders certainly won't get into any easier opposition. Buffalo and Colorado back-to-back over the weekend. Colorado here on Saturday.
What a good move by Trevor Lindenhout. He came back, read the play perfectly.
Now Joseph a drive that hits a skate. Palffy's got it. Snow still on the net. 1 man back for the Flyers. Reichel holds up, feeds Berard, but Lindros got back to make a play. And the puck skips behind the Philadelphia goal, and we're down to the final minute of regulation time. 3-1 New York. 20 seconds left in the Islander power play. Lindros at the Islander line. Floats it towards the net. He missed Brindamore. Ryan Berard will bring it ahead. Berard got it to the Philadelphia line. Smolinski poking at Richardson. And it's lugged to the Islander line by Forbes. 35 seconds to go in the third. The Islanders that close to a win over the Philadelphia Flyers. They would be 6 behind Ottawa and still have a game in hand on the Senators. And the battle for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. So a night to salute the past, as well as also salute the new and hopefully the future. What with the ownership change and a lot of positive energy in this building. Ride it out. Islanders win.
As though Garth Snow was trying to get to the bench for a moment. What a turnaround for Tommy Salo. What a turnaround for his Islander team. A great team effort led by the hitting of Rich Pilon. And the goaltending of Tommy Salo. Early in the hockey game, the Islanders jumped all over the Philadelphia Flyers. And in the first period, they built a 2-goal lead, and they didn't look back from there. They didn't get into a whole lot of trouble, Howie. There were times in the third period that it looked like they may be getting into trouble, but then some penalties to Philadelphia Flyers helped them out.
It was the jerseys. Let's take a look at our New York Marriott Marquee scoring summary of the Islanders' 3-1 win. It was 2-0 at the end of one. Nemchinov on the power play. Palffy, number 33, has had points in 7 straight now as Ziggy heats up. Then in the second period, the Flyers would score their only goal. It came on the power play, courtesy of Rod Brindamore. But the Islanders cashed in an insurance policy early in the third on the power play as Robert Reichel, who had a tremendous two-way game, scored his 22nd. The Islanders were outshot 35-24. A sparkling game in goal for Tommy Salo after a shaky one against Boston on Sunday, and he figures in our Nissan play of the game.
He's our Discover Card player of the game, Howie. We could give him anything you want. You could look at the saves that he made, but overall, our Discover Card player of the game. In the first 2 periods, he had 14 and 13 shots consecutively. Tommy Salo, our Discover Card play of the game. And getting off on the right foot, here, Sergei Nemchinov. The word is to get an early lead on Philadelphia, and that's what the Islanders did. Our Nissan play of the hockey game, the first goal at 6:15, Sergei Nemchinov, his 8th goal of the season.
So the Islanders end a 3-game losing streak. They sneak back into playoff contention, 6 behind Ottawa with a game in hand. For Ed Westfall and our entire Fox Sports New York crew, I'm Howie Rose, inviting you to stay tuned for Fox Sports News. We'll see you on Friday from Buffalo.
Toshiba notebooks with the Intel Pentium processor can make any presentation come alive with brilliant color and stereo sound, even when you're out in the field. By harnessing the awesome power of the Intel Pentium processor, Toshiba portables can keep up with your thoughts. They can even keep up with your dreams. Toshiba portables, a more personal computer.
Friday on Fox Sports New York, Zygmunt Palffy leads the Islanders' scoring attack. Sabres goalie Dominik Hasek stands in his way. The Islanders head up to Buffalo. Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York 2. Be glad you're just watching.
Coast to coast, the word is in the air. Finally, America's getting epic sports talk. Jim Rome.
Let me take the last word.
Wallace Matthews.
Anytime you're ready, Jim.
The Last Word. Weeknights at 12 and 5 on Fox Sports New York.
Prepare for a 2-hour Star Trek event.
This is not a game.
The Killing Game. Only on UPN.
I'd like some information on the small business plan.
For PPO, IPA, HMO, and PCP, press 1. Wait 12 minutes, press 5. Leave a message and maybe we'll call you back. For things without initials, press 2. To speak to an operator, good luck. To find out about health care, call back between 1 and 2 Rocky Mountain time unless you need something immediately. Just hold on and somebody who really doesn't care will be with you within the hour with absolutely nothing to say, okay?
You run a small business. You don't have time for nonsense like this. At HIP, we understand the importance of efficient customer service. So we've introduced voice response that really responds. Humans are standing by too. We offer very affordable small business plans that let you choose any doctor anywhere. So call your broker or call this number. We'll send you a 10-minute prepaid long-distance calling card and our free brochure on small business health plans. This offer expires soon, so call now. We won't keep you hanging. So, where do you get your health care?
It's HIP.
At Chase, your company is in good company, like PhotoFile, a member of Tom Seaver's Business Hall of Fame. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
This is Fox Sports News. In a possible preview of the NBA Finals, the Sonics take on the Heat in Miami. Will the Capitals end their winless streak by taking one from Pat Burns and the Bruins? The National League Rookie of the Year has a good reason to feel secure. We'll tell you why. And the Garden becomes a battle zone tonight as the Nets and the Knicks take the court. Fox Sports News is now.
Now, with more of the latest scores, highlights, and sports news from coast to coast, this is Fox Sports News Primetime.
We get back to work with football news, and tonight the Cowboys' loss is Miami's gain. Free agent safety Brock Marion signed a 3-year deal with the Dolphins, meaning he is leaving Big D and going back to work for his former coach in Dallas, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy wanted to make his team a better team, and obviously I come in, I bring a lot to the table, and I can come help this football team, whether it be special teams, whether it be safety, whatever it may be. I don't try to overextend myself. I play within the means of my defense, try to make the right calls to put everybody in the right position, and I don't need to be the hero or anything like that, but I like to make plays.
Marion was drafted by JJ back in '93. His 3-year deal reportedly worth $8.1 million. Last season, Marion led Dallas with a career-best 158 tackles, and he's versatile. He also worked as a kickoff and punt returner on special teams. Marion just one of 4 new Dolphins this offseason. Miami also added offensive guard Kevin Donnelly from the Oilers. He was signed to a 4-year, $12.1 million deal. And big news out of Minnesota tonight. The Vikings have re-signed running back Robert Smith to a 5-year contract. Terms not disclosed. Smith was tagged as a Vikings transition player last week, improving his negotiating leverage. That's always good to have leverage. He ran for a team record 1,266 yards last season.
Keeping low to the ground. The PGA Tour has shifted from west to east this week as the tour makes its Florida swing. This week's stop at Doral, but the most intriguing golf story is deep in the heart of Texas. That's where the Nike Tour is this week, and where Casey has left court for his cart. Casey Martin actually played in 2 Nike tournaments before winning the right to ride last month in an Oregon courtroom. Earlier today, Martin did just a single one-on-one interview with our own Tom Kirkland, less than 48 hours before Casey tees it up at the Greater Austin Open.
Casey Martin is certainly in for the ride of his life, but he'll do it for now right here on the Nike Tour. Martin says he's turned down several sponsors' exemptions to play on the PGA Tour. He says he's not quite ready for all that. Besides, he wants to earn his way up golf's ladder. Hey, Martin's finding out this first step is tough enough. Nearly 3 weeks after winning the right to ride a cart in competition, Casey Martin can't wait to get rolling. But right now, he's getting rolled by the roving media and feeling the pressure.
I'd be lying to say if I don't. I mean, look at y'all. There's like 200 of you here. And I mean, I admit the world, I guess, is kind of watching to find out how I'm going to do with all this attention, find out, if I'm any good, really. And yeah, it's new. It's a whole new experience. I'm dealing with the kind of media attention that really only the select players in the world face, and I'm not a select player yet. So it's a challenge.
The Casey cartel is growing. Ping Golf Clubs, Spalding's Strata Golf Ball, and Hartford Life Insurance, the latest to join Nike in Martin's endorsement portfolio. He's becoming the Tiger Woods of the Nike Tour, at least off the course, and that keeps his agent on the phone.
All of the different media requests, the endorsements, the outings,